Hello everybody, welcome to another CPL Match of the Week cast. Glad to have you all with us tonight, or well, morning if you're Australian like me. I'm Neblime, with me we have Saetzero. Say hi, Saetzero.
Hello.
And Cold Warp Gates. I'm not going to tell you to say hi because I know what happened last time.
He might be away from the mic right now.
Oh,
But that's okay. We can get started.
we lost him.
He hears us. He's in the chat. He will be joining us later. It's going to be a TriCast for you guys all tonight. Do not worry.
There's a man down, but yeah, he will be back. So, today we have some
Hello?
week 2... Oh, there he is. There he is. Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
I was on push to talk, not voice activated.
Oh, there you go.
Why can't you hear?
How are you, Cold Warp Gates?
I'm good.
Ready
I
to
just
cast
had
these
dinner.
games?
I'm fully charged, yes.
Nice. Alright, so today we have some week 2 Mech and Cheese vs Amigos Tier 0 and Tier 1 games for you. So without further ado, let's get into the first game. In the top left here, in the brown, we have Olin for Mech and Cheese. And in the top right, in the pale yellow, we have Crane for Amigos. Oh, I'm not on D&D. Nice. Alright, there we go.
Oh man, it's rookie hour right now.
Yeah, that's
Cole's
right.
not
Amateur
on
hour at
time.
CPL. Oh my god. That's right. People in the chat understand, right? I was telling
Hey,
Chess yesterday we're taking back the term guys in the chat. It's not a slur.
Is that a slur? Why is it
Yeah,
a slur?
Because of Artosis.
I mean, he says it, and everything that Artosis says is said in anger. But I don't think I made it a slur.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but is that a slur, or is that him not being willing to see outside criticism? We can leave
Well,
it at that,
yeah,
man. We can
that's what it
start.
is.
We can start some
Yeah, yeah.
drama. That's cool.
You gotta have the drama, man. We need more CPL drama. That's why we need, certain players around. Just to add that that villainy, So
I sandbag fire. The shoes cannot be filled.
So about Crane, by the way, I know he's been practicing super hard since last season. I believe he was Tier 1 last season. I might have been Tier 0 as well. But I think he's looking really strong recently. I've been keeping track of Olin in particular, but to be honest, just based on how much Crane's been improving, I'm just predicting a 2F for Crane. Might be a bit wild of me to say that right off the bat, but I think he's been a beast recently, so we'll see. I don't know if Olin's showing any good results, though. I don't suppose either of you know.
Yeah, I know. I don't know about Olin. I know Crane's been like really active in our team Discord, and I know that he said that these games were really good. I don't know the results.
Well, Crane obviously it must be like sub 1K because he's going Forge opening. Who does that anymore, right?
Exactly, yeah.
What is this?
Well, he's doing Forge opening, but the Forge is on the right.
Stone Age Protoss.
Yeah, the
though. I think
gateway
that might
will-
just be how this. I
Yeah.
think that's how this position works. I don't know because this map is weird. I've never done a PvZ on it, but I think it's gonna work out right.
The gateway
Yeah,
will
I mean,
fit above
it
here
should-
state, by the way.
Yeah, but there should still be a hole on the right side. Just this spot in this, what really just a map wall sounds like such a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, on the one hand, this natural's like fairly narrow and not that hard to defend later. But for 3-hatch Hydra, yeah, you have a pretty awkward setup here. Not the worst. I mean, we're not in Silphid, are we? So yeah, we should mention again, as usual, it's the same maps every best of 3, and since it's week 2, we've got Shakura's Plateau up first, then it'd be Eclipse, and finally Silphid, is that correct? Or is it Silphid then Eclipse?
It's supposed to be Eclipse and then Polypoid.
Oh, Polypod,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think it's
Yeah.
this week now is like Polypoid, Circuit Breakers, and then Sylphid. But
Was this a hatchery
Say has it right.
first? Wait, hang on, what's the build
Yeah,
order?
yes, it was a hatchery
Oh my
first. We were
God.
talking about other things, and Crane got last scout too, so really unfortunate to see that happen.
Well, there is an irregularity here. Based on that hatchery timing, I'm not sure if he just got delayed or something, or if it was like 13 hatchery, because it was like a little bit late. And here in Tier 0, I'm gonna assume that kind of thing isn't just like an error. There must be something going on there. So maybe he's being like extra greedy here, trying to seek an extra drone or something. That probe also was getting taken out by a drone would have been a big blow for Crane, but he does keep it alive for now.
it could be. I think right now, like when people go hatch first, they go 8-11 hatch, and that's a bit less economic, but it's better against gateway first. So maybe All-In was hedging. There was more like this Forge expand, so he was getting the more like normal 12 hatch.
Hmm.
so they could change the timing a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. By the way, already taking 2 additional bases
Yeah,
is
whoa.
on. So really taking advantage of all these bases around on Shakuras here. And the thing is, it's actually kind of hard to scout all the possible locations. Because you know, the bases are kind of like so close to each other, you kind of miss them sometimes. You think, oh, there's that base over there, and you don't realize there's another one right next to it. So I don't know if Crane can spot this. Theoretically, it's almost impossible to stop a speed zealot timing, right? If you're so spread out like this, but otherwise, it could be pretty strong for Olin. Also, if you just make a lot of Zerglings, though, what does Protoss do?
Yeah, I mean, there's even just still, like, if you think about the spawns they actually are, if Crane goes that normal kind of thing you're used to seeing, you're seeing the Stargate, the Corsair goes across the Scout, it's going to pass over that 11 o'clock base. It might not ever go near the 9, though. So this is actually a little tricky, a little deceptive, but Allen might be playing a little bit of mind games, especially since, like, we saw Crane go Forge. I'm not sure if that's a style he tends to go more often. There might be a little bit of trying to actually outplay the opponent more rather than just play the game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it is the Corsair's job, theoretically, to spot, well, I mean, bullshit like this. That's what I call it. So, it's a question of where he's going to send it down, though. The thing is, if you go in there and you see a Spire, which, by the way, there's no lair, so I guess he won't. I was going to say, if you see a Spire, then you want to run home, but yeah.
It's like 4 hatch before gas into Hydra, or sometimes even like 5 hatch before gas if they're wild.
Yeah,
that's becoming more popular lately. It's like not at all in like the 3 hatch Hydra, but it is like a really strong mid game. You know, obviously get a lot of Hydras and try to smash the Protoss with it.
So, oh, these Lings trying to surround the Skeleton. They do get one. Very well done by Olin there. Oh my gosh. If he loses these, this is actually pretty bad because he can't get any intel at all, and he will take them all out. Well done by Olin there.
Yeah. And there's not even one building at the gateway yet, so it's going to be a while.
Damn, if Olin had made like 10 more Zerglings, he could actually just attack and probably win the game. It's a funny thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those weird spots, but Allen's feeling like they're in a good spot. They got the bases up. They're droning up really hard behind us, and they're going to be able to get their Hydra upgrades and everything. Lair's going to complete. We'll see if that is going to be for a Spire or anything, but I think this is actually going to be okay. The first Corsair is on the map is going to be able to scout what's going on, and Crane adding on a bunch of gateways.
Yeah, I imagine when you're getting this later layer, you don't need a Spire unless maybe you're up against double Stargate. You really want Scourge or something. Because it's kind of too late. If Protoss did choose to keep making a few Corsairs, then you're not really going to have that muta like tempo advantage, I suppose. Getting that scouting down. So, is this the first time the Corsairs come to the main? I thought there might have been another one before that. It seems kind of late.
Crane started the +1 ground weapons before the start game. So
Oh.
a little bit more delayed than you're used to seeing.
Right. So it looks like a normal lair timing. He doesn't know that hasn't been done for like a minute, right?
Well, he might have gotten the read on this build based on the on gas timing, just because the gas is kind of delayed, and there was a probe in the Zerg main when the gas went down, and that could be why he got the Stargate after the +1. So he could have not been too worried about it.
Yeah, could be.
The first play.
Yeah, you can even see he cut the Corsair production, not trying to dominate the skies or anything.
Yeah.
It was enough to respect the threat if mutas did happen, but after that, like he's got a cool mate, he's rushing straight towards Templar. Has the read on what he needs to prepare to do. Trying to kill some overlords, but needs to be careful not to take too much free damage against these Hydras.
Well, excuse it just right that Corsair gets out. I think he knew that one was already bruised, so it's worth it when you're going to get those shields back. But yeah, I mean, it seems like Olin's going to be able to pump out an absurd number of Hydras here. The only disadvantage he's going to have, really, is like a late aspect. I mean, his overlord speed's later than it could have been, but there wasn't really a window for Crane to take advantage of that.
Well, remember what I was saying, that there might be that opportunity just because of the spawns and how everything's going. Crane has not spotted the 9 o'clock base yet at all.
Yeah.
He probably has an idea just from seeing how many Hydras are getting produced that there is another base somewhere, but I don't, because the move out was a little bit slower.
Oh my god. It almost gets taken out there. I mean, he just focus fires the Moon Corsair there. That defangs is so much. But is this just enough Zealots? I mean, it's a choke point for the Hydras, but it's not that narrow. A lot of Zealots running around doing nothing right now. Okay. It looks like the Hydras are barely
not
cold.
going. There was reinforcements that didn't go up to that 11 o'clock base. I think if they came, that might have been enough to keep doing damage and start resetting these Hydra numbers. But I think maybe you just want to be careful. Gotta be definitely careful with these Corsairs. More going down here, down to just 1. But if the opponent didn't go Spire or anything, you don't have to worry about them. They're losing their value as they go. It'd be nice to keep them alive, but really not a big deal if you can.
Yeah, it seems like Olin's deflected the kind of light aggression coming out from Crane here pretty easily. and he's just kind of powering up more and more. And Crane doesn't have anything really giving him a special advantage here. He's just playing a 2-base powering style so far, and he's executing it very well. But it just seems like there's a strategic edge here for Olin. He's kind of gotten away with something.
I mean, it was still like the adaptation to cut Corsairs, get the Templar Archives, Storms are on the way, and there's already Templars made building up energy. So if that first fight, when Storm hits, if they can get a good win here, Crane's still gonna have a formidable ground army.
He sees that fourth, but at the same time, his natural is being attacked. Well, I don't know how serious Olin is here, actually. I think he just wants to bait Storms, maybe. 2 cannons barely enough to hold this off, but he knows about this fourth now. I mean, he can select the minerals and see how long it's been there, so he might have an idea how much trouble he's in.
It's a pick on that Templar, and the Zealots don't have Storm to back them up. They can't move out here, so Olin gonna get a lot of free damage here. And I think, did they get the +1 armor? No, that got canceled, so +1 armor was nearing completion, ended up getting delayed here, and that's would have actually been very helpful with the Zealot heavy army against Hydras.
I mean, I guess there's no reason not to cancel, because then you can maybe spend the money right away, but if the Forge dies, did you know you actually just get all the money back anyway?
I think a few weeks ago we had this discussion. I think it's like you get like 75% of the resources.
No, we checked it. Like you get 100% wherever it dies.
I remember Cole made some claim. Yeah. I don't remember the results, but I don't make.
Oh, the Templar's getting caught out the side here. Well, okay, maybe not so much. The Zealot's able to fend off, but there's so many Hydras here. Crane just does not have enough, I don't think, to fight this. Well, we've got Storms, but great dodges by Olin.
Well, Storms are all exhausted now, but there's still lots of Zealots here in the middle of the map. The Hydra numbers starting to fall away here, and while the army from Olin was pretty good, and he's been doing a good job keeping the drone count up, really having a good economy, the Lurker aspect not completed just yet, so that's going to be the real thing that helps us out much more in these ground fights. Right now, it's just these core units, and a couple Storms all you really need. Even though the Storms are mostly exhausted, still more fighting going on in the middle. Lots of Zealots here. This is pretty dangerous for both sides.
Yeah,
but I think
Olin needs to pull back there.
Not even
I think it's a mistake to commit. Yeah, you're right though. That rally is pretty brutal. No more Storms available right now. Oh, Templar coming up. He's got 2 Storms ready, but the Zealots are going to be dead before he gets there at this rate. Oh no, that Templar naked.
Nice storm.
Oh, it's not enough though. I think this Protoss army will get cleaned up. And when the Protoss army is getting reset, it always looks very good for Zerg, especially when Zerg is already on 4 bases here.
Yeah, but I do want to say that Crane has 10 gateways right now.
Yeah, that's true. And his observer timing is very good. I mean, maybe this 11 o'clock is a bit weak now. If he can just head up there while these Lurkers are morphing, maybe he can get something done. But he's chasing these Hydras instead. I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like Crane's getting anything done with these Zealots, and that seems to put Olin in a pretty good position. Because again, he's deflected the aggression while being on a superior economy.
Yeah, I mean, there is still that point though. If Crane tried to commit to 11, he might be able to kill some drones, but they probably get evacuated. Then his army gets trapped up there, and you're probably killed off by the Lurkers once they finish morphing. So Crane trying to go to other spaces. There's no stacked defense here, but the good micro on the drones maybe negate some of the pressure here. Not taking critical losses. The Lurkers are gonna be here in time to reinforce this, and Crane's gonna have to back out. A defense made by Olin, some damage done, but not worth the amount of Zealous loss, I think.
Yeah, well, there's something to be said for the number of Hydras he was able to kill, but at the end of the day, like, Zerg can remake those pretty easily. And it takes a long time for Protoss to build up to that kind of, complicated army where you have a bit of this, a bit of that. You know, need a bunch of Storms, a bunch of Dragoons, and Zealots for the Protoss army to really be effective. Whereas Zerg can keep trading, I feel like, with small numbers of units pretty easily. Or loses an Observer on the way back there, that's been unfortunate. And Olin spots this 3rd base immediately.
Yeah, great timing on that Overlord to come over here and see that right as it's making.
Yeah, Crane is going to have to defend that, because if Olin can keep his opponent on 2 bases for much longer, it's absolutely just going to end the game. First is going to mine up for too long.
Ooh, and the army's out of place. I mean, a few Zealots here to defend, and I think actually it's a decent engage for the Protoss. He's coming from 2 sides here. Observers ready for the Lurkers. I think Protoss will have no trouble defending this back. And you know what? Losing those 4 Lurkers is actually a bit of a loss for Zerg, but he's going for the Observers now. Will he get them both? Well, he will get them, but the Lurkers are already all dead, so it's kind of just a sweetener for the defeat that Zerg just suffered. I mean, losing 4 Lurkers there, I think it's actually a pretty big deal. Although Zerg could be mining from 4 gas, so I guess he can replenish that pretty easily.
Yeah, I think Zerg right now is just trying to put the pressure on, because Queen's Nest is done, Hive on the way, and starting to switch into the melee attack upgrade. So once those cracklings hit the map, you see a lot of hatcheries being laid down too. I'm not trying to take more bases, but really gearing up to have a strong army once the Hive tech's completed.
Yeah, and look, Zerg trying to set up this Lurker field in this key high ground position here, or Templar wandering in just gets picked off for free. There's a lot of goons here though, and it's mostly lurkers. If he just gets a little more backup, I feel like these goons can actually power through this lurk field. But like you say, the Lings on the way. They don't actually have speed though. That makes them a lot less effective, I have to say. Oh, great storm on those Hydras there. Will he keep the Templar alive though? Looks like he will. And that third going up, so Protoss back in a reasonable position. I think as long as his third is up, Protoss is still kind of surviving. That's a lot of Zerglings though.
Yeah, still gotta be careful. It's a mostly Dragoon army, and you know that spells a lot of trouble when Protoss tries to take a fight. It's like, oh wait, the Zealots are all gone. This is unfortunate. Everything just target down these goons. But like you're saying, lane speed not done. Just getting started off now. So that means when the hive's completed, like that's even gonna delay the adrenaline upgrade a little bit too. So a little unfortunate. Right, trying to push in here, has some storms ready, has some splash damage. We can see the Ling army building up here, and all in just kind of keeping a good foothold up in this middle area, which Crank could be trying to poke around and get some other damage done elsewhere instead. I'm surprised he's not making a move, but Allen's going to take that 12 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a move. Like, oh, storm coming up. Go do it. I want to see the storm. Okay, it's not amazing. I'm kind of disappointed how long I waited for that.
Another Templar that's wandering into the Zerg army.
Yeah.
They're supposed to pan around.
So yeah, about this 12 o'clock, that's interesting. So I guess he can actually push down to that lower ramp and set up a lurker field there. And then he has this pretty dominating position where he's always threatening Protoss Natural. Oh my god, that Observer. That Observer is a goddamn survivor. It's so hard to keep that alive. That's a lot of Hydras that just fell. I mean, Protoss actually has the upgrade advantage right now, +2 weapons plus only 1 carapace. So the Lings are not as effective. And like you said, Adrenal is actually delayed here. So, I mean, Protoss had a bit of a window, but this position does just look pretty unassailable with so many lurkers. Protoss sees that 12 o'clock and taking a fourth of his own in response. Gonna try and come up to this 12 o'clock. The lurks aren't in position yet, but without storms to back this up, I think the Zerg can actually just come down here and crush this army.
Yeah, it's just Dragoons here. No splash damage, no Zealots to help bolster anything. And the Link speed's done. That +2 armor did complete, so the Lings are going to be extra good here right now. And you'll see it's all in moving forward, trying to defend that 12 o'clock base. But it's still a lot of Dragoons here doing a good amount of damage. A lot of the army's still back at home, and even some rally drones, so all getting a little bit sloppy here as the game keeps moving forward. Crane trying to set up a fourth base over on the side. The Hydra's going to stop that. But this battle at the 12 o'clock keeps raging on. It's all Dragoons. That's going to be enough because Colin just is not reinforcing the army enough.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that Protoss came out on top there, but I guess if the lurkers aren't already in position, they're not very good at running in at goons. And yeah, this base will fall actually, and this puts Zerg in a pretty precarious position. If Protoss just keeps taking a fourth and denying Zerg fourth, that will eventually lead to a Protoss win here. That one Hydra, I think, is a bit too late to deny the Protoss fourth.
He's just hanging out.
Yeah, but he's the police to take him away. You're coming with us. Oh, Link's coming up here. Adrenal is finished now, so they're going to do what they can against these Dragoons. And it looks like Zerg's storming forward here. The hatchery's already fallen though, so maybe even if he takes out this army, Protoss is still alright here. Well, I don't know though. He's going to crush this army.
Yeah, he said maybe the legs will go alright, but that's all Dragoons, man. Those legs are going to kill everything. That wasn't even a question.
So all the Zealots down at this fourth, where I think makes sense actually, because that's what Zerg wants to kill. But can he get in this natural here? There is a couple of storms just coming available now. Oh, the Lings are kind of getting in without the storms. The Zealots are there to stop them. Now, +2 carapace has finished with the Zerg though, so the Zealots not as effective. Another Observer falls. You know, despite how many Observers have fallen, Crane is dedicating a lot of gas to remaking them, so he's not really suffering for that.
Yeah, it still just hurts your economics a little bit here when you have to, between remaking Templar, remaking Dragoons. If you have to keep making Observers too, it's hard to get that gas econ up. But that fourth base for Protoss did stay alive, going to be able to get more gas income there. All in, expanding more towards the bottom left. There's a Zealot that's been sitting around the very bottom left corner for a long time, but that's not the base All tried to go for here, so going to be able to get this fifth base up. I don't think it's going to get detected for quite a while, because right now Crane's building up. He can't really move out that comfortably on the map here, otherwise he's risking more counterattacks like we saw at the natural before.
Well, the thing is, Zerg does not have a Defiler mount though, so these cannons alone, if you have enough cannons, can actually do the job. He's not committing any Templar here just yet, which I would say if there's Defilers out is a bit risky, but as it stands, he actually finds this counter-attacking army here. If he can catch it, that'll be a nice little pick-off.
So many Zealots.
Yeah.
This is all Crane's army down here. There's definitely an opportunity for Allen to take the links he has near the 12 o'clock and go for a big counterattack. He's dragging the Zell army way down in the bottom corner, but not making use of that advantage. Finally moving forward here, but still just barreling towards that 4 o'clock base instead. I'm not sure how I like that so much.
Well, it's hard to get into that natural if there's storms there as well. Like, maybe you defeat the defenses, but then the rally just comes out and kills you. But here we go, having engaging in the center here. Nice Storm kills so many Lings there. And looks like that's the only one we're going to get, but those few Lurkers are going to get cleaned up pretty easily, actually. And look how many cannons there are now at this base. You are never getting in there without Swarm now. Or at least without a lot of Hydras.
Yeah, but you can see how easily that fight went for Crane there. You took all your army that was on the map, you had things in a different position, and you barreled all the attack into where the army was, right into Crane's strongest point. That's why I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Regardless if you went for something else instead, like I would have loved to see a different decision. Another fight being broken out in the middle here. Crane's force a little bit weaker though, but still it's just a couple lurkers. Ling's not engaged either right now.
Storm? Do you see that storm?
Yeah,
Storms are a little bit suspect here. The Lings are going to be able to surround it and clean it up as the Zealots are starting to thin out. Reinforcements are going to get here, but I don't know if they're going to get here in time to spiel and save
how
everything.
did those Lings get cleaned up there? Oh, Protoss just hit +3, and the Lings are still on 1-2, so actually those Zealots doing huge work. And you know what, now Protoss looking dominant. Another 5th base attempted to be established here, but there's really not much going on there yet. Protoss still has this massive army running around. It is lacking Templars. But Zerg doesn't have much hive tech really other than Adrenal. He doesn't have any Defilers out, no Plague happening. We're certainly not going to see Ultras anytime soon. So it seems to me as long as Crane can just maintain control of this high ground here, which he is doing. He's moving his army beautiful this whole game, really. He's looking really good. Even establishing a 5th base of his own.
5th base, yeah.
Yeah, Allen's not really making big strides to set up more bases here. Finally using some more of that hive tech. Nidus Canal is going to be online to help defend things a little bit better. But I see shuttles being made for Crane. He's still a lot of Templar DTs as well.
Yeah.
It's that kind of classic late game move that could really swing tide. Like, all you gotta do is not pay attention for like 1 second, and one storm kills absolutely everything in your drone line, which is always great. But look at this army from Allen up at the top. Lots of lurkers being morphed. These Hydras are there too, and they're 3-3. They're maxed upgrade. So that upgrade advantage for the Zealots no longer existent, and it's a very intimidating Zerg force. Allen still has a great economy. He's gonna have a good fight. I just wish we were seeing Defilers, like you keep saying.
Yeah, I mean, he has so much gas to spend. Alright, the fight's going to go down here, but yeah, it looks like Crane's army's just stronger, and Zerg compelled to retreat here. Well, he does have a lot more up here, but the engage is not good because he's kind of stuck in a long line. Protoss army kind of wants to be bunched together here, but Zerg really needed like an arc. But still, that's a lot of Hydras in the back. Great dodges on those Storms. That was amazing. Wow. Really great Storm dodges there, and he's going to finish off these Zealots, and then when there's only Goons, I don't know how much energy is left, though. Ooh, looks like it's just enough. But at the rally point, so many more Zerglings, and where are the Zealots to defend these Goons? Looks like this army will get cleaned up. That Archon will
yeah, this is really scary because if Protoss loses their whole army, it takes a long time to rebuild. It takes a long time to get that mana on your Templars. So Crane could easily lose a base here if if Zerg goes for the kill here.
The shuttle's moving towards the 11, but Overlords everywhere should be seeing that. It's just Allen's paying attention or not. DTs and Storm, so big options going to be able to get a lot of stuff done. +3 DTs can kill tech so fast with the Templar going down. First Storm kills a couple. It's nothing crazy, just 4, but 2 DTs get into the main. There's some Lings back here, but there's no detection really.
Yeah, Lings aren't even the perfect unit either. Like these DTs are fine with that fight. Oh, they need to micro a bit more though. Okay, doesn't really micro that first one actually. Probably could have taken out those Lings. Actually, I think he will clean this up pretty easily. But hey, the Storm Drop did decent damage. That Templar is actually still there. I don't think Zerg realizes
it always has enough energy.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
He's gonna camp out till he gets it.
You reckon Crane's just watching here intently? No, neither of them are looking. Oh my god.
Oh, no.
When will he realize?
Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunate, but we are seeing the shuttle didn't get killed off making that little harassment play. I think I saw more shuttles being made in the queue. I could be incorrect about that, but all moving across the map, trying to pressure this bottom side, and there's still a lot of cans here to help the defense. Where's that Defiler Mound? Where's the Darkstorm? This is how you break these late game Protoss bases, and we're just not seeing. The high tech has been done for so long at this point, it's just no use for it.
Yeah, and you know, once again, Crane able to build up a pretty good army composition here because he has such a good economy, right? He's got so many bases. As always, Protoss just needs more gas here, but he is able to build a lot of Zealots. Oh my god, that Storm doing so much damage. Oh, the Templar got cleaned up at the 11, by the way. But yeah, those Storms just decimating the Ling and Hydra count, my god. Oh, the flanking Zealots, look at them go. It's just like PvT.
I keep thinking that Crane is like just kind of barely losing these fights, but he's staying in the game. He has a ton of bases. He keeps rebuilding his army. Like I feel like the longer this goes on, the better it it looks for Crane.
Well, the thing is,
especially.
Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say he's moving towards that good late game defense. We're seeing Reavers get added on. Another shuttle moving towards the 11, and we're gonna see if this one does more damage than the first one. But still, Crane doing a good job spending their money. But the choke point right now is gonna be that gas is harder to come by. So as he's still trying to make these army take these fights in the middle, all in starting to expand more across that bottom left, taking the 6, taking the 7, and he's gonna be able to get more income. Well, Crane's got to set up something down at this bottom right, but there's a Ling there that's going to detect when that's happening, but still just fights constantly in the middle. But Allen's going to have more sources to rally from. You can see, like, even as his army's grouping up, it's going to be a really good flanks. It's a good engagement here. There's a lot of Zealots and Storms, but let's see if Allen has enough to power through.
Yeah, I mean, decent Storms coming down so far, but yeah, the Zerg engaging for all angles here, which is really what Zerg wants to do. But it seems like not their entire army is actually here. A lot of Zealots left over, and not that many Lurkers to deal with them. Still observers on the map too, so I think Crane ultimately will be victorious, but he needs to retreat and regroup because I think the Zerg's reinforcements will do a lot of damage here.
I'm seeing the kind of thing I want to see. And now it could just be for Skirk, but Spire being added on late game when Zerg is sitting on 6k gas, that could be an absurd transition if you want to really commit to it.
That's a lot of gas.
Not really.
Good Lord.
He's not building a lot of units right now. Finally, defilers should dump could soon being researched too, so going to be able to move towards that great ability Darksworn to break through some of these cannon defenses. But we gotta see, like, that Spire's gonna be available. It's gonna be able to shut down a lot of these drops, and Crane's gonna have to figure out another play. He's sending his army down to the bottom left, but look at all this Zerg. He'll give out the bases that are barely even started. You have to take out some of these other ones, but all these Reavers and cannons, I don't know.
Well, again, you need the Darksworn, but as well with Reavers there, you really need a lot to take it out. And losing these two bottom left is a big deal because then, my God, 3 Reavers here doing their best, but there is quite a lot. Nice shuttle micro, keeps it alive, and the few Hydras down at the bottom left are not able to keep that alive. Wow, really well micro by Crane. He does lose 1 Reaver, but he takes out that entire attack, only losing like a few cannons worth of minerals, which is really not a big deal at this point.
Like, what a bold decision to do that, just to like rely on the. I mean, it's 3 Reavers, but like 3 Reavers and some cannons is not a lot of defense at this point in the game. He decided that he could take those 2 bases and not lose his own.
I think he could have taken that fight if it wasn't just all Zerglings. Like if you're attacking Zerglings and you just kind of throw them in there, you saw them. They were trying to take down the pylons and the cannons. They weren't going straight for the Reavers, and even when they were getting micro to survive. So the Reavers just doing massive splash damage to clean those up so quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, we said it a few times, but the defilers were really, really late.
Yeah.
And like, Hydras and Lurkers are really, really strong, but that kind of Hydra Lurker army is really a mid-game army.
Well,
and we kind of see why it doesn't last the whole game. Eventually when the Protoss gets so huge and they have all these storms, they can kind of just run all over the map like that.
I think one thing is that Zerg was meant for an extremely Ling-heavy style there. That's why we saw them build up so much gas. They just built huge numbers of Zerglings. Alright, talk about that in a minute though. In the top right, in the peach, we have Crane. And the bottom left, in the green, we have Olin. Currently Crane up 1 game in this best of 3. So yeah,
I think that game goes so much differently for Zerg if they got the Defilers any reasonable amount earlier. Because Darksworn to break the bases, but also Plague for all those constant big grouped up fights in the middle of the map.
Yes, absolutely. Plague decimates Protoss. But I don't think it's necessarily a mistake that he just went for like lots and lots of Lings and put off the Defilers, because sometimes you just overwhelm Protoss with that. Especially with like a fairly goon-heavy composition and few storms that Crane had. But I think a big part of why Crane was so successful was his positioning. It seemed like Zerg was never really able to set up a lurker field in a critical position, and he caught him moving his lurkers a lot of the time and took them out quite easily.
Yeah, Crane was really active with his army all game, and even if he was losing fights, he was keeping Zerg on Zerg's side of the map for most of the game, which is how we saw Crane get away with so many bases.
I tell you guys, Crane is really good. I'm watching this cast, and I'm like, okay, so this is Coach Pupil League, right? For the pupils who need to learn? Like, who's going to teach this guy, right?
Well, Crane's coaching now, man. He's an assistant coach for his team. He's helping out. He's gone the full gamut for the CPL. Like, when I joined, I think he was a tier 2 player. Now he's up here. He's just another success story, like Father, like Tim, like all these other guys that just shoot up in skill because they put in all the work in. So, always happy to see him doing well, even though he's not my team anymore. It breaks my heart.
All right, so we got the hatch first attempt, but that's just it, an attempt. And this is actually a problem with this on 2-player. If the probe is just there, this build kind of sucks because, like, okay, well, I'm not building anything.
Oh my god, there's 3 drones trying to
No,
kill this probe right
well,
now.
you have to, I think, because you just got to get it
Yeah.
down. Like, what else are you gonna do? Unless you just say fuck it and get a spawning pool, but that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, look at the play we're seeing from Crane, though, because he saw 3 drones trying to stop him. He knew his hatchery first. He didn't even have to go in the base and confirm the pool. No forging started. Nexus after pylon. This is just this is the perfect situation for Protoss here. You delayed the hatchery a little bit. You know Lings aren't going to be coming right away. You could be as greedy as you want.
You know, there was potential for like a fake out there, though. If Olin went 9 pool and sent that drone down at that time, I mean, Crane would have been taken in. He wouldn't have started a forge or anything, you know? Just something to think about.
To go 9 pull and then pull like 1/3 of your drones.
I mean, you can still afford 6 Lings, and if Protoss doesn't have any building, then that's enough. Because, you know, he'd be like, oh crap, start the forge. By the time he gets there, it'd be too late, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty out there, you're right. It's like the kind of build that it's like, well, it's not efficient, but if you just make them make a mistake, you know?
Well, remember, we're not watching Age right now.
Fair enough, fair enough.
I think you're feeling the Age kind of play right there now.
No, I tell you guys, this is just how I play Zerg. Like, I just go for 9 pool, and I can make modifications within that. It's 9 pool with whatever you want, you know? 9 pool with gas, 9 pool without gas.
I feel like your Zerg strategies. I don't want to get to the late game, and I don't know how awesome that is for some of the things we're seeing here.
Okay, so he went for Forge first as well then. I don't know if you can go for, what do you call it, a gateway when it's hatch first and you're going Nexus first like that. Probably it's not ideal, I'm not sure though. But he'd go for the Forge again. Seems like he's just a typical Forge player.
Well, Forge, if you're going for the early Nexus, makes so much more sense because, like, it's not like you're gonna be able to get the gateway, get units, get your defense up, and then like rush your tech off with gas or anything. It's better to just rely on the extra minerals because of the fast Nexus. Just get the Forge up instead, because the gateway, like, part of it is getting the gateway up in time to get that massive zealots that can stand up to these fights.
Well, this probe trying to get back over to the Zerg base, but these Lings blocking it quite well. Oh, it gets past them. If Zerg's able to deny that, that's a pretty big advantage. And we do actually have Dem before Lair, Protoss beware. So getting this probe in there is going to be a big deal.
I think he's going to make it too.
Yeah. I don't see how...
This road's going to block.
Is that perfectly positioned? I think it is. But what do you see
that
here?
That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
There's no drones at the natural, and you just desperately try to block your ramp. That's
well,
all.
Notice that he had 3 lava, and he instantly morphed them. And if he did in fact make drones instead of hydras, but like you see that, and you're going like, why were you saving those? You know, this is T0. Yeah. Your opponent's gonna be macroing pretty well. If they have 3 lava on a hatchery, there's a reason for it.
And we're still seeing a Stargate opening, though, not trying to sniff out that he thinks it's early Hydra, switching to some Citadel build or anything. I think the way we saw it last time felt pretty comfortable going for the Stargate, going to be able to get things, but just not leaning too hard into if your opponent isn't going to Inspire. So looking to see that. I love the positioning we saw in the last game, too. Crane put that Stargate all the way up in the far corner. So if Overlord wants to come in and see it, there's definitely no way to escape this time.
Well, you know what's interesting, by the way, is that Olin just made drones only until that probe died, so he's not going to have like a fast timing for a Hydra bust here. I don't think he's expecting to get much done, but he probably wants to put a bit of pressure on. He probably figured, well, if there's a probe in my base and like a Hydra just pops out, like I'm not going to get anything done anyway, so I might as well just drone up.
He's pretty much got 973. He's got 873, I think. So I mean, he has pretty much the normal amount of.
Well, why the Hydra didn't so early then? Because he wasn't using it for a while. I assumed he wanted to make Hydras off fewer drones. No, but he didn't start one. Like he got the he has now, but he got the Den and it wasn't doing anything. He got drones, then he got speed. Okay. So I'm thinking he wanted to do like a faster, more bare bones version of Hydra Bust, but because the probe is there, he's going to this 973 variation. Because you can go faster with less drones.
Yeah. It looks like the Corsair has seen the Hydras, but we only have 2 cannons with more morphing, so it's going to be a bit scary here for, the like 2 years it takes to morph in cannons.
Yeah, right? Well, you can't overcommit though. That's exactly what Zerg wants. They want you to just make like 10 cannons and then they're like, oh, well, that's fine, I'll just make some drones. And this Corsair does see the lair, so I think, yes, some idea that Zerg's not going all out with this. Although we don't know that, I suppose. Zerg could actually just keep making Hydras anyway.
Yeah, he's just trying to look around to see what's being built, what's going on. He's seeing more hatcheries get added on, like you're saying. Sees the lair being morphed. So the signs don't tell a story that is just all in, but the gateway and forge go down, going to be able to start chipping away at these cannons, and at least all could keep the pressure on here and put himself in a good situation. The forge re-got in the main, and that did slow down +1 weapons by a very significant margin. But Templars are on the way, going to have storms, but the gateways are only getting added on now, so even the production is very halted for Crane right now. Even if All-In doesn't want to keep attacking here, there's no way Crane moves out for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this allows Zerg to get up on their hatcheries, right, and drone up a bit more as well. Of course, they're getting really great scouting skill. Nothing's forced it away, so it just sees everything. It sees it's going to be 5 hatch Evos coming up and everything like that. So Protoss knows at this point the pressure is off, so they can just spend their minerals on gates and getting their Templar out as well. That's the thing about forcing those cannons, right? Every cannon you force, that's money that could have been a gateway. Costs the same.
Ooh, this let's see if this Corsair stays active in scouting, though. Actually seeing the Spire here now. That could just be for Scourge, just to limit this one Corsair that has not been replenished yet, and then they're playing in the dark, not the situation you're looking for. But lots of drones getting added, All-In's economy looking pretty strong. And you can see, like, more Hydras have not been added up to the front. They're making sure they're not even standing in a spot there. It's like, oh, we might accidentally get stormed or some kind of nonsense. And Crane's getting a little funky here. Actually going for a shuttle reasonably quick. Building high Templars and DTs. I think he feels like he wants to get some damage done, while Zerg feels extra safe.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Because Zerg doesn't have this Scourge until now, you know they're not going to be able to send a scout into your main, so they're not going to see this like fast robo. Now, his Overlord speed is going to be done in time, I think, but he won't necessarily be expecting it. So I think it's a strong move when you're up against 973.
Yeah, a little unfortunate just because how the game played out. I've seen Crane. I mean, he had the Forge at the front that got killed. He had to cancel the +1 weapons there. He had +1 air weapons started before, and he canceled it, and now he's restarting it now. So I think as he's getting the scouting info from this Corsair, it just lived forever at this point. It's not getting killed off. He's seeing what Allen's doing, has some kind of plan. And it's just interesting to see these kind of choices where, like, no, I need the money now, and then still going back into it later, because that's I feel like that's not something you see very often. At this point, you would just see more Corsairs instead.
That Overlord didn't see that, did I? I dropped the ball there with the observing, but I don't think that observer saw it.
I don't think so.
Interestingly, takes the High Templar as well. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure how I feel about this, to be honest, actually.
Yeah, I feel like it's way too late. I feel like if like Templar are already out with Storm when you go for mutas,
well, the ideal is that you have all these mutas that can pick off the Templars, but hang on a second, here comes the Storm drop. Again, I'm surprised he's bringing the High Templar, because that kind of alerts the Zerg, which kind of defeats the purpose of the DT, I think. But hey, that's totally worth it. Who needs a DT?
Yeah.
But I mean, Zerg's going to know about that, right? So I would have thought you'd bring like Templar only. Sorry, they're both Templar. High Templar only or DT only, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's still getting some damage here. If there wasn't Overlord speed, it would take Zerg a lot longer to clear this out. So I think it's fine.
Yeah,
but
I
you're
think
right,
two High Templars would have been
would
have been devastating because then he storms the main as well, right? But nonetheless, it was still a good drop. Like that storm alone did plenty, and it revealed the Mutalisk, right? Protoss had already started +1 air weapons, though, so he somehow sensed that this was going to be the variation we were going to see.
Yeah, probably because he saw the 3 gas.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. But I mean, you did also see that the army had to go back to deal with the DT. So while they didn't do big damage, the Overlords came back. A lot of the Hydras did too. So that might just be buying Crane more time to finish some of these upgrades, keep those production rounds going. Because you can see 6 games are completed, more getting added on. We're getting to a pretty intimidating 2-base push where he had a spot of weakness early on when he lost the wall and the Hydras had that contained. Allen really didn't get to take too much advantage of it. They set up their economy, but now Crane's building up a big army. They're going to have to play defense again.
And the problem is committing all this gas to these Mutalisks. Like, you know, where the Lurker's going to come out. Like, if he just counters them with the Corsairs, so far it looks like he definitely will. This looks very precarious for Zerg. And look at that. Protoss is ready. Zerg looks very unready, I have to be honest. Like, but the Templars! Oh, no.
Ooh, the Corsair's getting a good angle on these mutas.
Oh, they still get 2 Templar. Might get the 3rd. Oh, man, that's brutal.
Oh, with his last shot. Wow. So, I mean,
with only 5 mutas.
Yeah, they got the damage they were looking for, right? They kind of paid for themselves. But now, does the Protoss army still just win? I mean, that's a lot of Zealots, though. What are the upgrades at? +1 missile for Zerg, +1 attack for Protoss. So, you know, I guess Protoss doesn't really want to commit to that.
Yeah, not quite yet, but still, when you have this many Zealots here, your opponent can't be on the map. They can find good engage here with the everything's out of position, but Allen's still skipping stack defense to some of these other bases, relying on the units. The Zell's trying to take a decent engage here in the middle, but there's no splash damage, so both sides taking some damage here, but the Zell is still just a very strong unit overall. Corsairs finding more overlords to kill off as well, not overcommitting into that natural, getting themselves in a really bad position, but these Corsairs are going to be able to get a lot of damage done. The Zealots did their job, and Crane just still building up that army. They set up a probe to that 12, and Overlord spotting that, and Allen did get a 4th base up, but it's not saturated just yet. Both players looking like they're getting to a mid-game pretty comfortably, but Crane's spot, I like it, man. It looks good.
Yeah, it's looking really good for Crane. You know, not perfect like after those Templar snipes, but his overall game plan is doing just great. Like he's just got like 6 overlords in the last 2 minutes with these Corsairs. Like he killed all the mutas. He's getting his 3rd base like right on time. His tech is great. Like this looks really strong for Crane. Allen does have his 4th base up, but okay. So look, as we see a Queen's Nest. I don't think we've seen any lurkers, right?
No, lurker aspect has not been started yet, so really leaning into this, invest the gas and abuse instead. Not going to be lurkers, so a little unfortunate to see that there instead. And I'm looking at some of the things we're seeing. Overlord drop got finished. I'm curious to see if there's going to be a move, but the Overlords aren't in position to do anything kind of shenanigans like that. And that's the kind of thing that if you're planning to do that, you're getting it before Hive Tech. I feel like you had some kind of plan, but nothing's in position here. I wonder if Allen's just kind of researching for some kind of opportunity. Lots of Hydras moving up at the top area.
The Scourge just got deleted. But yeah, where are the storms? Where are the storms? Zerg can take this, I think. Oh, he has to retreat. Oh dear. And this third.
Yeah, there's a couple I just natural, but really not that many.
Oh, right below. They're waddling their way over. They're trying.
Oh, that's
finally
a good
show
one.
up last minute.
But how many Zealots have already fallen? Is it too much?
Yeah.
Well, I guess he beats him back, but it's not really a win for Protoss. Honestly, I feel like that's pretty good for Zerg, the number of Zealots he killed there. Oh, and he picks off the Templars after the fact as well. Oh my gosh, these Hydras are doing so much damage. Oh, more Templars coming in to die. Oh god.
Allen's Hydra control is so good. He's getting so much value out of these units.
Yeah, give some credit to Crane as well for just walking the Templars in. You know?
Well, I was going to say silver lining. With all the units getting killed from both sides and a lot of the Hydras getting reset, maybe Crane's opportunity to take these Corsairs and kill a bunch of Overlords, but you ain't going to supply block on anytime soon. Look at that supply gap. He's got 60 just waiting to be used because of how much just got killed in these last couple fights. But Allen finally starting to saturate that 4 base they took. And I'm curious to see if they're going to try to set something up. We see the drum moving towards that bottom right. So I think they're going to choose to go that path instead, which makes a lot more sense to me. Lurker defense in those small ramps is way easier than defending that double gas.
Yeah, and I think it's very dangerous for Protoss to send their entire army down to that area as well. But he's actually looking to come across the map anyway. Yeah, these Corsairs continue to get so much value. I mean, this seems to be the pattern. He loses a lot of Zealots in the main fight, but he's just picking up so many Overlords, it makes it worthwhile. My god. And yeah, at the start of that fight, a whole bunch of Scourges got annihilated without doing anything to those Corsairs. And look at this scouting. He can check out the bottom right as well.
Yeah, just finding as much value here. The big thing is not losing the Corsairs. That's a lot. Some of these players, they get to this point in the game, it's like, are you not going to mute it? I just want to kill some Overlords. They don't care about keeping the value. But the fact that they stayed alive basically this whole game, no issues losing up to Hydras really, and getting just a lot of Overlord kills, a lot of vision control, which is really nice. So you see a couple Skirts trying to fly around, trying to get something here, but it's not going to be enough. And that base that was started in the bottom right gets canceled because of that Protoss army presence, while Crane's setting up their own instead.
Yeah, I mean, like Crane's going to take the bottom right instead. That's kind of backwards for this map, to be honest. Like, Zerg usually ends up with those.
Yeah.
Oh, and Lurkers are out.
Interesting.
But there's a lot of Dragoons. Is he going to come down here? Gonna need a storm or two, but that's so many Dragoons. Can he actually just get in here just like that? Oh.
There's a lot of storms in the background, but they're a little bit far ahead. There's not a lot of Zealots here, but still, so much splash damage available, and now especially since he has the high ground, the Hydra's going to be a lot less effective trying to fight into that. So if nothing else, Craig just controls this area. He's buying time for his base to get set up over here, but we're seeing it over in the 12 o'clock. Here's one drop, 2 Lurkers, just enough, but there's cannons here already. So Crane has that defense, and those Lurkers are going to barely get dropped in time.
No.
Are they going to be able to kill? Ooh, they're getting some kills anyway.
Can 2 Lurkers beat a cannon? I want to say they can, but Zealots are
cannons are terrible.
But Zealots are not. Zealots are pretty good.
Yeah. Exactly. There you go.
Okay, So very, very nice that he actually anticipated that with the cannon in the mineral line, because that could have been brutal otherwise. You know, Crane doesn't really have that many probes considering he has 4 bases, so anything he loses is a big deal.
Look at the drone. Try to go to that double gas base. The moment he even arrives there, the army from Crane already ready to punish this move. Although we are seeing different tech choices from All this time, he already has a Defiler Mount finish, already working on Consume, so much faster use of the Hive tech compared to what we saw last game. And on a map like this, especially the way you saw the last game pan out, I think that's a much stronger choice here. I think there's a lot of opportunities where you can get a good plague off, especially the way Crane plays, moving his army all around at once. Putting pressure on this 4th base from the Zerg, but we're seeing a little Forza Hydra and Ling moving across to Crane's 4th as well, so both players trying to get some damage done, see what they can accomplish.
I don't know about this though, high ground with that many cannons and a Templar, I just don't see Olin getting in there. I mean, maybe it's good to have this force down here and secure the bottom right for himself, but he's not getting in that base with this. He needs Swarm or something.
I think it's fine. Yeah. That tiny little ramp and a Templar and cannons is fine.
Crane did lose a good deal of army though, trying to get into that fortified location in the left here, but he's coming back around to this side, clear up any potential attacks on that bottom right. I mean, assuming Zerg can't break the bottom right, Zerg needs to take that double gas base to win this game, I think. But with Swarm, maybe he can take it out. I mean, if he crushes it, then that's a whole other, another question. And the thing is, look at Crane. He's actually taking this 12 o'clock. I don't really agree with this move, actually. I think he'd be better off taking the other bottom right and just constantly menacing the Zerg natural with his army. That way, Zerg can't backstab these bottom right bases so far away from his main army. I mean, if he takes the 12 and the top left, fine as well, I guess, but he's got this weak bottom right base.
Well, see, I'm actually going to disagree with that. He has the bottom right. He has all these cannons of defense. If there is a Dark Swarm in lanes, you're never going to save it anyway. So I think he's just going to let that be its own thing, never try to reinforce it. If he takes the 12 o'clock, the army's up in that position anyway. That ensures that All is not going to be able to take that base themselves. And then he's going to wait for All to actually try to secure the bottom right bases for themselves and get him a little more out of position. Right now he's turtled up pretty good. It's going to be hard to actually move forward here, but a lot of overlords with units in there, they're going for that bottom right base. This is what I'm talking about. It's going to be hard to defend it regardless. Flying to a lot of cannons though, these overlords going to get killed off. The units getting dropped off.
Yeah, bottom right.
Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, well, he gets some probes, but that will be cleaned up. I mean, I don't think it was worth it for Zerg, ultimately. There's little Protoss remakes a few probes here. I mean, again, I'm concerned, though. Crane's probe count is so low, and we can see he's, like, out of money right now, not even maxed. Because he's just, even on 4 bases, he only has, like, 47 probes. Oh, no, that's blocking the Nexus, dude. Oh, no. Oh, that cannon.
Yeah, it's like 2 cannons blocking the Nexus.
Well, here's the problem. The Protoss army's out of position, though, going all the way to the bottom right. This is the problem I see here. Zerg can just counterattack with impunity, and Crane cannot patrol to both of these 2 bases.
It's okay, though. He actually needs to kill those cannons, so he's just tricking Zerg.
True. He gets Zerg to do his job for him. Oh, and so many probes long distance mining here would be better off in this bottom right. In fact, probes not getting sent back to the bottom right until now. Oh, no, the Corsairs. They lived for so long, and now they're just flying into Hydras. No. Oh, they're just sitting there getting picked off. Oh, I hate how they're not even running away.
All energy, yeah. They're like a whole position.
Man, brutal. See, I actually would have thought that this could be the opportunity. You see how All is fighting with those Corsairs still being such a force. This could be the time. Add in those Dark Templar. Like, really make that ground force intimidating and you can get something done. Crane's army still is chilling at that bottom right, just trying to secure that, but All's going to try to take that double gas. I think this is going to, if he can manage to defend, it's going to be good. And now that the Corsairs are gone, some of the threat will definitely be easier for All. He should be able to bleed out into the map with some of these overlords, get a better idea of what Crane's doing.
Yeah, I think Crane kind of falling apart here, getting dragged in multiple directions, and the economy not really stabilizing. Oh my god, these lurkers, though. Well, I guess, you know, it goes both ways. Both players being a bit taxed here, because this is a pretty full-on game. A few Hydras even kind of getting sacrificed in the bottom right during this as well. I still stand by what I said. I think the best move for Crane here is actually you just take that other bottom left base, bottom right base, and you forget this 12 for now. You try to deny Zerg taking the 12, I suppose, but I think it's just not the right base to take when you're worried about defending this bottom right. Oh, Crane actually taps out.
Well, no, the replay's bugged. Look at all his money. Something happened.
Oh, damn. Okay, let me go back a bit. See, I didn't notice that because Crane just seemed poor. You know, I didn't think he wasn't spending. Oh, why can't I go back?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're the host state. You go back a bit. I want to see when it started. That's unfortunate. I guess those attacks we saw were actually doing something instead of just like lurkers running in and not moving.
Yeah.
Like at this point,
I
it
feel like
seems legit at this point. Like look at this big fight. Go times 2 or times 4 or something. Because we've already seen it. Crane banking a lot there. Like the thing I always keep an eye on is the workers, because when they start all going idle, that's when you know you got a problem. Okay, there's that lurker drop and Crane's pulled off. I mean, Olin's starting to bank up a bit now. No, he's still spending.
He's still spending. Yeah.
But look at the third now. You see those 3 idle pros? Maybe they weren't actually idle. Oh, I don't know.
I know at least once in the past, going back in the replay, actually fixed the...
Really? Are we watching the actual game? Well, everything's the same for now. Keep going times 2 until we see a divergence. Because so far, everything looks the exact same. I can't see any difference yet. Oh, and again, look at the third, though, all those idle probes. I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we had Crane in the chat
earlier. Yeah, now we're seeing no unit production for all, so the replay definitely got crumped up a little bit here.
Yeah, so yeah, this is past this point. Well, that's a pity. Now we don't even know what happened. I assume what happened there is that those attacks in the north actually just like broke his army.
Yeah, and maybe even the bottom right base died.
Yeah.
Those like small attacks. Maybe there were more units there.
What a pity. Interesting because it really seemed like Crane had the upper hand for a while there. So I wish I'd seen how Olin turned that around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that is the one thing we do know. We do know the result because I do got a game 3 right here.
Yeah, I get the feeling you were right that taking that base kind of stretched him out too far. The bottom right base. Like there were some times where it, at least from our replay, it looked like it was a small Zerg attack at the bottom right, and Crane sent his whole army down there, and that left him vulnerable somewhere else. So like it seems like that is probably what did it.
Yeah, but I don't think it has anything to do with what bases got taken. I think it has to do with Crane moving too much defense. He had all those cannons. I guess. Yeah, that's more of what it was. I think, not the base choice itself.
Yeah, it was the base choice and or the way that he played it.
All right, in the bottom right,
navy and black.
In the navy blue, we have Crane, and the bottom left in the black, we have Olin. 1-1. All right, let's try shift tab. Nope, let's not try shift tab. What a disappointment.
Nope.
Maybe next time. Look, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. At least it's like not a mirror.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that bad, but we're gonna throw. Oh, we got a little time. I'm gonna throw out 2 PSAs because you can help our casters out all the time. Stop picking navy blue. Stop picking black. Stop picking similar colors. Like I know random's cool, but you could pick one, and then where it's like better odds, or at least play top versus bottom. And then a positive PSA. Every time I've had to collect replays to cast Master Week, I've had no issue getting them. You guys are killing it up below in the replays. I don't know if like having the folders more organized made it easy, but everyone's doing a great job.
Yeah, I have to say that too. Like on the whole, it's been pretty good. Of course, there are a few people who are need to get their act together, but on the whole, everyone's doing a great job. Don't forget when you're done, upload those replays. I'll never be fully satisfied. That's the truth.
On our team, we've had a Surf kind of like take care of the replays. Like we send our replays to them, and then they upload them.
Yep.
And, I feel like a bad teammate. I'm drawing a blank on whoever it is.
Oh, he doesn't know his admins.
Okay. So it's still Surf helps us do signups. Surf and Surf, they help us do signups. They like run around and ask people if they want to play. So shout out to them.
Finally, the overpool coming out. By the way, he's giving up on this hatch first shenanigans style. Interesting forge position. I don't know what you're supposed to do on Polypoi, but is that really it?
That's fine. That's
all right.
fine.
Okay. I'm just. Oh, so you have 2 gaps, gateway and 2 gaps, I guess.
Well, no, the gateway on the right side of the gap, and then like a.
I get you. Yeah.
It's gonna be a big gap. It's a big gap in the middle.
But it's only one big gap.
Well, it's two zealot wide, but it's a big gap in the middle.
There's one space, which is 2 zealots.
Okay, I see.
How many different ways can we say this?
His wall is fine. Just say that. Shut up, Terran player. You don't know anything. Just say that.
We need Neblime here. Play Pros for a month. Come up with all the rhymes. So you can help us well, man. Like invest in CPL. You're a coach. Come on.
I'll do it if you're on stream and I can keep like killing you with rhymes. And also my crappy Protoss play. You'll be like, "What are you doing? You were supposed to do X, Y, Z."
I mean, if you make me hate your rhymes enough, I'm sure that'll help me out. Now, it is 1 cannon gets the Nexus up. The last scout, unfortunately, not gonna see it, but it's still overpool. It wasn't like a heavy investment in links or anything, so one can's kind of what you're expecting here. It's not an overcommitment to the defense or anything, so I think Crane, when he gets in here, not feeling so bad. If you build that cannon blind and see another hatch first, you probably feel a little worse.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what Zerg wants, right? Either that or, maybe... Well, okay, never mind. I think that's the perfect thing Zerg wants. Interesting that it's going to be a fairly early gas here, and he didn't actually do that in any other game. Like, in all the games we've seen so far, his lair was quite late, for various reasons. But this game looks like he's going for a pretty normal type of opening. Oh my God,
well, remember the other games, he was also getting more hatcheries early, really getting that economy going. So now, yeah, he's got to kill that probe off, though, because...
Oh, the middle walk. It's still alive. Whoa, dodge. It's going.
Can't. If he could stay alive long enough to confirm Lair or Hydra, that'd be phenomenal. But still, it's just taking so much time. Yeah, that's the trick. That's the way you do it. Will Crane sniff it out? Is he gonna go down there to confirm this?
Ooh.
I mean, he tried his best. And if you never saw that Lair at the natural, and you're refusing to spend your gas before while I can see it, you don't think Lair. That's not what you're thinking.
Absolutely. Well, I will say though, in TVZ though, the same thing happens very commonly. You don't see the lair in the main, and you're going like, okay, I'm sure it's just at the natural. So maybe it's the same in PvZ, and Crane can smoke this out. He's not even getting a second cannon so far, so I don't think he's fooled.
Yeah, he doesn't need it just yet, and he's got that Stargate in the way, like we've been seeing every game. So gonna be able to get that Corsair here. Unlike game one, not getting it after the +1 gets started, so knows he needs to get that scouting info off. He didn't see exactly what he's looking for, so gonna be able to get a Corsair on the map, see what's going on, and then he can go kill some critters on the map and tilt you off existence.
No, you can't. That's not allowed. Wow, I will shut the stream down. I swear to God.
That's okay. I'll pick it up if you really want to leave. We can just harass critters in our own time. We're having a good time.
You just start hosting like different replays where you just have best of like critter murdering.
All right, so we are seeing a Spire as the choice there this time. So not going to be any kind of crazy shenanigans. Might be the kind of really standard stuff, but what we saw in game 2 maybe actually wants to lean a little bit more into the Muta. He did a good job sniping a bunch of Templar, so maybe confident in the Muta control. If they get them early, they'll be able to get something done. Droning up a lot behind this as well, so they're going to be in a good spot. That Corsair finally on the map, going to be able to move around and look at all these links all over the map, just going to be able to get that vision that you can't kill with a Corsair.
Well, I will say two things against Mutalisk here. First, he doesn't have a second gas yet, and second, he saw that Protoss already getting +1 air weapons. So I don't think Olin's going to want to go for Mutalisk at all here. And we can see he's not even saving his lava, so I think it's going to be a regular Scourge opening. Like I was saying, he's playing the most standard this game. Maybe he decided he'd save the best for last. He'd do the wacky stuff in game 1 and 2, but game 3 he'd just rock the standard and try and solidly outplay his opponent. But so far, Crane as well playing super standard. Although, a lot of Protoss these days, they don't make as many Corsairs and they don't go for that +1. They really just try and cut Corsairs as soon as possible.
Well, like you're saying, standard as standard could be. We're going with the 5 hatch. Hydra's on the way. It is just Scourge, no mutant investment or anything. So literally by the book, Liquipedia. There's a couple of links trying to move out to the middle of the map here. Speed is started just now.
Oh, Corsair!
Still a while away.
Okay, alright.
Oh, nice.
I was channeling my inner Korean there.
Okay. Well, I should be able to get back to the cans in time. It's not going to be any threat here. Being responsible not to lose those.
Oh, takes a hit though.
We still takes a hit. That's a little unfortunate. These Zealots moved all the way across the map, though. Very bold, not scared of anything on the map here. When you see the Scourge chasing you, the ground force is not going to be quite as strong as you've seen for some of these other openings. So, not feeling worried, even though he doesn't have the Zealot speed done yet.
Life of a Zealot. Oh, I walked all the way here to kill Zerg, and then we just have to go home. That's what these Zealots are saying right now.
I mean, that's how you get the leg upgrade. You have to move the Zealots around a lot. You're training them up for the marathon. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, right, okay.
Get those reps in.
Meanwhile, the Marines are just like, they don't want to exercise, so they just take drugs, that speeds them up.
Exactly.
I mean, you could explain it to me how taking drugs makes your gun shoot faster. That makes no sense, right?
They just pull the trigger faster. You know how it sounds when they shoot? It sounds like an automatic weapon, but that's just like semi-automatic. They just pull the trigger that fast. When they stim, they just go, oh my god.
Exactly.
I mean, it's possible. Templar Archive about to be complete here, and more gateways going down the main. Not a tremendous amount. Not sure if they're gonna be geared up for a big 2-base push to try to take a third. But the Zealots, now that they got those legs done, marathon training over, all the upgrades are about to finish up too. +1 weapons, +1 air is on the way as well. They're gonna be putting pressure on in a spot where maybe you don't have a good defense here. The SimCity not fantastic, but a good amount of Hydras here is still gonna be able to repel this
see what he
force
wants
a
to
little
do.
bit.
You can see what those Corsairs want to do, but he decides against it. I think he decides there's too many Hydras here at the end of the day. And yeah, it's repelled quite easily. I'm intrigued he didn't at least try to go to the third, even though the SimCity's good. There's a lot less Hydras there, and I think he definitely could have picked off at least an Overlord. But
well, I think that it's just Crane wanting to kill Overlords.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's just the plan, because he's done that in every game at some
Yeah.
point. A big Stellar Corsair attack just to kill Overlords, doesn't care if he loses. Storm nowhere near completion, and Link's got in the base somehow. How the hell did this happen?
Oh no! They're getting that Templar?
We're gonna get 2 Templar.
Ooh, only
Okay,
one.
they only get 1. But...
Still though, that's huge. Oh, these Corsairs. So is this like the signature Crane 5 Corsair +1 now? Like, is that what we call it from now on? Oh, look,
Yeah.
he's gonna get that Overlord. Speed is not quite done yet. Boom, there it goes. Right away though. 6 Corsairs now. This is a huge threat. Too many Hydras there for them though. Oh, they're
And actually a supply block on Olin as well here.
Just
Trying to
one
add on a
Overlord?
bunch of drones. Yeah, I mean, he's been killing it, Overlord here and Overlord there. He's not getting that jackpot in the middle there by the Hydra Den. He's looking for an angle. He wants it so badly. Finds one more just chilling. I mean, 6 with +1. He got him stacked up real nice like this. And I think is that probe that's in the
Yes,
is
it
that
is.
trapped by the
Yeah.
start?
You can
must be
see
right.
it if you watch it carefully. It changes its facing depending on where he orders the Corsairs. So nicely done by Crane. Knows all the tips and tricks, right? I like this cannon setup actually because he has all the cannons on the left. They're not getting in the way of the rally coming out. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So Zerg here taking this mineral only, and I think what we're going to see is a big lurker field because this is actually a pretty popular strategy on this map. That if you can just kind of control this high ground quite easily, and it's very hard for Protoss to bust, and you can kind of just eventually isolate Protoss in their corner. Of course, we don't see lurker aspect on the way yet though, so we'll see.
Yeah, I never know how to attack a Zerg player on this map because, like, if I attack at this mineral only third, then I'm like going up a ramp
Yeah,
in the lurker. And if
High
I attack
ground
like
is a
in the
bad
natural,
time.
I'm like getting surrounded from like 2 or 3 angles. So I just don't
Yeah.
know how to attack this map at all.
well, I think Protoss has to just take their own 4 bases, and luckily for Protoss,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
4 bases you can take are not that bad at all. Although the mineral only, it being a mineral only, does have that downside. And I feel like in PvZ, Zerg is actually happier to have the mineral only than Protoss, which is
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
perverse, really, because Zerg is generally gas limited. Oh, here we go. Corsair's cruising for more Overlords, but all at the natural. You know, if a DT comes in the main, nothing to stop it. Where are the
Yeah,
Overlords right now?
we've seen Crane do the Templar drops. He doesn't really care as much. They're moving out a little bit more. Still protected by Hydras, but a little force moving to the front here. There's still plenty of Zealots and plenty of Storm ready and available, plus the cannons. So I don't think he wants to really force their way into engaging there. And these Corsairs still just looking around. Managing to keep finding like one stray Overlord that got left behind by his buddies over and over. And confirms how little defense is at some of these bases. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see another drop play at some point, but I think if nothing else, Crane probably wants to get a third base going or really gear up for a 2-base push. I don't like that he keeps kind of waiting before he's on the map. But now we're starting Dragoon production. I think the plan is to attack soon.
Well, he only just started Lurker Aspect in Dolan, so I think that actually must be a mistake, because that's extremely late, and I'm pretty sure that's the plan of how he's going to defend this mineral only. And that might end up costing him, like the Stellar Dragoon Force, who a few Storms will probably be able to bust Hydras only on that high ground.
Well, he might get a little extra time. The observatory about to finish, so it might be waiting for the observer before they move out, even though plenty of stars banked up. Even if you had to fight a couple lurkers, it wouldn't be a thing. But Crane just moving out, they're going to be able to start settling up for their third base of their own. Managed to take the mineral only, which, I mean, still, money's never a bad thing for Protoss here. Zealots don't cost gas, and they're always good.
Well, you know, I think this might be the map advantage manifesting indirectly, in that Crane doesn't even want to try and come across and bust that high ground, because he knows how hard it would be. And so he's kind of, maybe not forced, but is being steered into taking his own third here conservatively instead of coming across and attacking one. I think he had a nice window. I mean, his course is still getting mad value, though. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, just flying right over all those Hydras and just diving on that Overlord anyway.
Yeah, that was crazy. And he's supply blocked again. Well, okay, here comes Crane, though. Maybe thinking there are no lurkers here after all. I mean, with good Storms, I think he can bust this, but just be careful. Can't be committing the Zealots before the Templars are ready. I mean, that's a lot of potential Storms coming up here. I think he's ready to strike. Here we go.
It's so hard.
It's gonna be hard. Dragoon's going first though, not the Zealots. They're gonna be able to move forward. The Observer finally here, so has the confidence.
Huge storms, huge storms.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, is that enough alone? Like, he's got storms left. The goons making short work of those Sunkens.
Templars get picked off with the Hydras, but there's just enough goons back here. They don't care anymore. The Zealots even get all killed off. They see that the Lurkers are morphing back. They're not here just yet to help defend. Soon they'll be able to get into the fight, but still there is protection.
So many Overlords got killed though. I think at least 5 died, even though a couple did get away, as you say. No, the Observer is here in time as well, so he can clean these up. And like we were saying, when the Lurkers aren't already in position, they're really not that good. So Crane's storming through here. I mean, this just goes to show why you need that Lurker timing, right? With a bunch of Lurkers spread out on the here, it would have been actually impossible for us to break this.
Yeah.
And these Corsairs still just getting lots of value on the Overlords.
GG.
And that's honestly just enough damage. Man, Crane taking it. Good job.
Well, I can't believe that fight went that well for Protoss.
The lack of Lurkers made such a difference there.
Yeah, I mean, props to Crane for knowing to attack. I'm not sure how he knew there were no Lurkers burrowed there, because his Observer wasn't near that position either. But I guess he just sensed an opportunity and took it.
Well, I think that might have been because remember, like I was saying, like a couple of Dragoons started moving first before the Zealots. They didn't take any Lurker spots.
Yeah,
so that might have been like, maybe this is my opportunity. Not going in with a whole bunch of stuff and seeing that the Lurkers aren't here just yet. But Crane taking it 2-1. Good series to start off the night. We got a couple more heading up. Just so many good players tonight. I'm so excited to get into the next one.
All right, let's do it. In the bottom right here, in the pale green, we have Sheep. And in the top left, in the blue, we have Fazic playing Terran. So, we have Sheep for Amigos and Fazic for Mech and Cheese here. We might actually see some Mech then. That'd be cool.
It was like, do you think they like all agreed, like, hey, we're all gonna go Mech?
Yeah, they're all gonna switch to Terran and win 3.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess
okay,
Mech
wait.
or Cheese, right? Or maybe Mech Cheese.
They have Mech or Cheese, so they play Terran or they just do like proxy gates, 9 pools, exactly.
Yeah.
Of course. It all makes sense. Well, he could still go by, you never know. You know, Struist TVZ, I can't say I've played that much of it, but it feels like it would be good for Zerg, just because there's so many bases to take.
Yeah, I could see that being reasonable, but is this also more that it's just with all these tight chokes and everything, it's hard to get the Terran army really moving around? I mean, Lurkers and tight chokes is exactly what you're looking for.
Well, if you play Mech, though, that's Terran's advantage, right?
Yeah, but I know you don't. I know you don't. I know you love Bio, man.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe if you do Goliath opening, it's a pretty good map. Who knows? Actually, if I think about it, it would be pretty good, because once you get up on that high ground, then you can come down whatever third the Zerg took from the high ground. It would actually be really good.
Does anybody do the Goliath opening anymore?
Don't they?
The Goliath. I feel like I haven't seen it that much recently, but obviously I'm a Protoss player, so.
Okay, are we back to bio every game now?
Yeah. I feel like in some of the games we've been casting for CPL, I've actually seen more 1-1-1 than Goliath builds.
That's true.
Which is wild.
Look, I like 1-1-1. I think it's pretty good. It just struggles more against well-executed, like, 2-hatch attacks. That's the thing. The thing is, bio, I think, is always going to be pretty popular, because it's just, like, a very, like, limited set of, like, possible things Zerg can do with you with clear answers, whereas with Mech, I feel like there's so many different ways Zerg could potentially attack you that are quite difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I don't see any like reason why that wouldn't be true. I think it's just bio is super good because you get all that gas to just get so many science vessels, and that they're your answer to everything, really.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing they can't do.
So ridiculous.
I wish. Can you imagine like a D matrix on like your lead zealot?
Oh wow!
Man. Can you imagine?
Good lord, please no. Oh my god. I mean, I do that accidentally some of the time, so yeah, I can imagine it actually.
Yeah, I mean, basically you just like promote it to being an Ultralisk.
Well, imagine accidentally dematrixing an Ultralisk when you're trying to dematrix your Marines.
Oh,
Not a
yeah.
good time.
And it's a Terrask or whatever the...
Yeah. No, the fun fact is that Tarask actually has even more health than the D-Matrix Ultralisk.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they have a lot. You know, you really need this info playing on ladder guys, by the way. You never know when those hero units going to make their appearance.
Really important game knowledge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a Warcraft 3 Reforged StarCraft DLC. You heard it here first. We aren't seeing anything unusual from either player. 2 hatchery opening, and the SCV was in the base, got to see the lair timing, has no doubts about what's going on. And Sheep got a drone right as the CC was being started on the low ground. Didn't manage to get in the base to see gas time or anything like that, but at this level, you gotta be expecting it's 2Rax Academy, right? What else would it be?
Well, I mean, if Terran doesn't go 2Rax Academy, they're going eBay first, then they're going to have a tougher time against the lair timing, could potentially cause a lot of trouble. But there is...
It's two hatch, but what tech building is that, my friend?
Ooh, it's the 2 hatch lurkers. So quite likely Zerg's gonna come in for a big attack here. Either drops or at the front. And this is exactly why you need to go 2X Academy though. If you went for eBay here, you would not have scans, you would not have marine range in time, like the lurkers could just siege you down. Sure, you can build a turret at the front, but that's actually a bit easier for Zerg to overcome if they just find the right angle with the lurkers. So Terran not able to get in there and confirm the Hydroden, unfortunately. Well, not yet. Yet, anyway. There's still time. Oh my god, is he going to get in? No, okay, these lings at the top are going to stop it. I didn't actually see those, so I thought he was about to get in there.
Well, Fazzy's trying to get that scouting info, but he's not going to be able to really see anything. The only indication you might have is the second gas timing. I'm not really sure what the difference would be between the two builds. I feel like I don't see a lot of 2-edge lurker. But if you can keep the SCV forward and maybe see the Hydras when they get made, that'll give him enough time to really get ready. But the Academy's about to finish. Comm sets will be available. Lane's going on the map. They're trying to actually kill this SCV instead.
Oh
just
my
not
god.
And
Will it see his Hydra? No.
So
Oh my gosh. Well, that was a bit unfortunate. But I mean, I think any tier 0 Terran player will be aware that this is a possibility, right? And he won't just assume Mutalisks. Although he's not starting his comsats, I think this is a big mistake actually building 2 additional SCVs. He's not going to know. He could move out his Marines in time to see, but he needs to start some bunkers pretty quickly here. Locust don't take that long to morph.
Yeah, Zerga's already on the way. The Lings are here, and the Hydras are bringing up the rear here.
Alright, comsats coming down.
Under comsats.
And the eBay about halfway done, so turrets will be available reasonably soon, but a couple lings up at the front. And I think they're feeling good, just not seeing any kind of crazy buildings. Just getting taken out by these Marines almost for free here. So the Terran army could move forward. I like this move from Sheep, dragging those Hydras north out of the... If you're going to push across the map, they're not going to get seen. 4 lurkers getting morphed here. And I heard a scan. That's not what you want to be wasting right now, given the situation.
Oh,
scans get used.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh, he saw the hydrogen. He should have kept one. But now, if the lurkers run in, not much you can do. Now, it is a big mistake losing those Zerglings for free, though, because actually they are crucial for seeing where the Terran army is, and they can take just that extra little bit of damage when you're running in. So, look, honestly, if Terran micros this well, even without scans, you can still hold this off, because you focus one lurker before they burrow, then there's only 3, you move back, you focus another one, then it's not so bad. But the thing is, lack of detection, he has to do it while he has space here. He can't let the lurkers come close. But Sheep actually respecting that threat, and not actually trying to get in here. Interesting that Sheep went for an Evo chamber behind this. I wonder if he's going to try and put the pressure on and go straight for Ultras. Typically here you see Zerg go for Defilers, because you can just get into the natural Darkstorm and Lurkers and you just end the game instantly. But since you got that Evo, I'm thinking this might be like a 2-base Ultra.
I'm not really sure what the Evo is for. He's getting armor upgrade just to make these things survive a little bit longer. I think that seems like a reasonable play here. And it is going to be Hive Tech on the way, like you were saying. I'm expecting that to fly a rush since there's no third base being attempted to be taken. I think Sheep really commit to whatever
that
we're
SCV.
doing here.
Look at that SCV. It sees the lurkers, so Fazzik knows where they are. Position the army accordingly. A scan is available. Look at that. Takes out one just like that. The scan was kind of wasted,
exactly like you said.
That's right. Neblime.
I can't believe we haven't seen a turret yet. Like,
well, you don't need one as long as you save scans, though, because
right, but like getting just one turret at your natural, just so you don't have to scan every time, like.
Well, the thing is, if they run in that many lurkers that they're not all dead by the time they burrow, they're gonna die like pretty quickly when you stim and engage your entire army. So no, I say it's not necessary. I mean, like we said, he did waste one scan on the Zerg natural unnecessarily, so he's kind of one scan down from where he should be. But if he had 2 scans right now, say, there's no way Zerg can get in here, obviously. So I don't really think the turret is necessary.
Man, Terrans are so greedy. It's 75 minerals, man, and it will guarantee
Dude,
you can't
that's
die.
a marine.
No,
That's
no,
a marine
no,
and a
no.
half. It doesn't guarantee anything, dude.
Oh my
If
god.
they can run into
Oh,
like 10 lurkers, the turret doesn't matter. The turret will die pretty quickly.
Cold, how many times have you just been like, I don't want to build one more cannon? How many times? Like, we can't say it costs just a little bit of minerals. Trust me, we do the same crap too.
No, but this is this is like playing PvZ and making no cannons. Like, this is like, whatever. I got 3 zealots. I'm good.
Ooh, I'm actually really intrigued by Sheep's follow-up here. You actually do see he's getting Spire and Ultras, not the Filers. This is wild, the kind of thing we're seeing here. The Lurker's trying to buy time. More scans going down.
The spread. No, he's going to get this. I think that's a good move by Terran. Actually, he loses a lot of range, but it's worth it to take all these out. And now he can move across the map, I think. And like Sunkens are good, but tanks are very good against them. But yeah, just like I predicted, right, Cold Warpates? I said it was going to be Ultra.
There you go.
Well, there was a little bit of mistiming. The +1 armor for the Terran armor was about to finish, so he didn't have to lose as much armor as he did, but still killing those lurkers, eliminating that threat. And now you can see siege tanks getting added in as well, so going to be able to siege these things down. Looking around though, you don't see any science vessels yet. It's still be a while way before those are on the map for that easy mobile detection, but still it's an intimidating ground force here, and Sheep still stay on 2 base, kind of get cheeky with some hive tech instead. Gonna be curious to see how this actually works out. But he's getting ultraless armor, he's working on the carapace upgrades. It's gonna be +4 ultras when he gets there. He's got to survive to that point though.
Okay, so there's like 3 problems I see for Terran here. Biggest one I see is because it was lurkers, he went for armor first, so his +1 weapon is very delayed. So Zerg can potentially have +1 chitinous ultras out when Terran has +0 attack, and they will just kill like infinite marines. The second problem I think we're about to see is that Terran is compelled to push before he has detection, and hold lurkers are very deadly to this kind of army. Now, I think Terran is right to be cautious here. He doesn't know exactly where these are. Zerg trying really hard to bait him onto this exact location, but who knows, there's 3 ramps down here. Or if he gets all the tanks, that'd be huge. Oh, he scans it!
Oh,
He knew. He knew. Okay, so the third problem is that Zerg could go for a backstab here that could be devastating. But since he lost those 2 lurkers, I think that problem is also negated. So Terran's looking pretty good now.
Yeah, the Ultra's on the way. All these armor upgrades are completed. So when they're on the map, it's going to be +4 armor on the Ultralist. There is a good amount of tanks, though. That'll help mitigate.
That's true.
Like, that will be easier to kill them, but still, there's no defilers here. There's no map presence, no real threat of a counterattack because there's just not units in position. And you can just see Fozzik really gearing up, keeps adding things on. More reinforcements. They're moving down. He's not even trying to commit to the attack. He's going for a 3rd base as well.
Yeah, that's
Like
interesting. He's not
content, I guess.
just committing to taking out the Zerg here. I'm not sure if I like it. I think I'd honestly prefer it if he just made more and more biokinetic. He sees the Ultras are out. +1 and chitinous is done. His own +1 weapons is quite a ways away. The tank's sieging up, and these Ultras going to engage without speed. But I mean, they're going to last a long time against Marines alone. The tank's doing a lot of damage though, and the Ultra's not able to get on top of them. Actually, he's going to crush this.
Yeah, the medic's doing a great job, especially making sure that it was hard for these Ultras to really get through the fighting armor. So even without the upgrades, it's not enough because especially it's still slow Ultras. They don't have that speed upgrade yet to really get in there.
Oh, dude, the top right. How did Fozzik know? Did he scan it?
I don't know. And he sent 2 SCVs there. And he's getting his own 3rd at the 9 o'clock. So Terran expanding before Zerg, that's really scary position to be in.
Dude, he's building a bunker on top of this ramp just so Zerg can't take it.
Oh, wow.
And look, it seems like the right move because Lings are going that direction.
Yeah, Lings managing to get out here, but this is still just a very high amount of army here. Science Vessel's going to give him that detection as well. Ultra Speed is about to finish, but it's still been 2 base economies this whole time. You can't even afford to make a whole lot of Ultra Series. You got a couple on the way, and that's it. And this army is well in position. Not even everything's all clumped up, so if the Ultras get on the tanks, there's still some in the background. Really, Fozzik playing it slow and very smart.
Dude, 6 tanks is a lot of tanks in TVZ. In TVP, it's like, oh, where are Terran's tanks? But in TVZ, it's like, oh my god, how do you even deal with this? Okay, Ultra coming from the high ground, getting on top of a couple of tanks. +1 finish now, and +2 not done for the Zerg, so the Marines are a lot more effective, able to chew through those Ultras, and there's only a couple left. Terran easily cleans that up, and there's really nothing standing in his way now. GG.
Yeah, not sure how, like, 2-hatch Lurker, it got defended, which is fine, but I think really doubling down on staying on 2 base for craziness if you got lurkers, I think defilers, man. Like the ultras, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
call it, you just did do enough. Rosling made enough tanks to be able to deflect that without too much issue.
Yeah, I gotta say it was pretty well executed push by Terran. He wasn't impatient. You saw he didn't just try and go in that natural right away. He like sieged up at like a respectful distance, I guess, and just waited.
And
for
that
the kills to come
scan.
through. Yeah, that scan
scan.
was sick.
Oh, so this was played out of order. This is the game
Oh,
2.
yeah. We had the same thing happen on Monday. Yeah.
All right, in the top right, in the pale green, it's Fazek, currently up 1 game, and the top left in the yellow, it's Sheep. What do you think about
Excuse
these
me,
colors?
that's the Halo military color. It's green, isn't it? Not that
Well, that's
pale
what I
green.
keep calling it. I'm not
Yeah,
calling
yeah,
it pale green. I don't care what color it's actually. That's a boring name.
What else is that color? Like Bakelite, like bathtubs, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Bakelite bathtubs,
Old bathtubs.
old plastic bathtubs. What else is that color? I should look at it so I can think about it.
Not a lot of things.
No,
I
not
don't
really.
know, man.
Oh,
It's a weird
eucalyptus
color.
leaves. Eucalyptus leaves actually are kind of that color.
Okay, Australia. Of course you would know that.
This is like as
Yeah.
green as the grass gets, you know.
These Terrans are from Australia.
Well,
the
not this
special-
one, unfortunately.
Australian unit.
What do they get? Like the kangaroo rider?
Yeah.
That'd be sick. It's like a Reaper. It can jump up and down cliffs, right?
Oh, there you go.
No. We don't talk about Reapers here, man.
Look at that graceful Ursidon, so beautiful. Look at him.
No.
You're on Carbot. Don't you like to look at them on Carbot?
I do, but I still don't know how to put it on the diplomacy menu. I think maybe the Carbot doesn't have the button for it or something.
Okay, so here's the question. Is that big, like, black bit in the middle, is that its mouth or is it another big eye? You see what I mean?
I think it's a mouth. I think it's like a beak.
Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I think when you can see the portrait, with
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
opens
Which
up.
sadly we cannot in a replay, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little unfortunate here. Hatchery first from Sheep, so not yielding to any kind of craziness after what happened in Game 1. Although, like, maybe the craziness is just yet to come. We don't really know. Both players going to be able to get that first worker scouts. No cross position, going to know where each other are without too much issue. And we're going to see what happens between the players here. Because I think Fazek, the way they played the game, looked really good. If Sheep tries more shenanigans, I don't know if I like that choice leading into it. I hope for more...
Well, absolutely, it bodes well in a series. If you play standard, your opponent tries wacky stuff and you win, you're feeling good, right? You don't feel like you need to get away with anything to take the win home. We'll see if Sheep goes for a more conventional strategy this time. Because, yeah, the Lurker straight into Ultra, as you saw, it's fragile, and that like tank vessel push is exactly what you need to shut it down. So getting this first scout is pretty good for Terran, because you see it allows them to get this second CC before their depot, which is really a great thing for Terran.
It's a nice win there. Gonna get those that income and the second set of SCVs to build that much faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright,
I like these
SCV
pretty
hit.
good. Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say, SCV is in the main. He doesn't care. First 100 gas, the moment it hits, Lair's on the way. So still 2 hatch play. Hopefully Muta. I think Muta on this map's also just a lot better. There's a lot more terrain to work with for Mutas on this map.
Yeah, I haven't seen that much on Shakuris, but my instinct would be that trying to go up the ramp against Mutas would be a real pain in the ass. By the way, Zergming 6lings right away here, which forces this bunker out against 15cc. That's a good adaptation, because even though it doesn't quite cancel out the advantage Terran is getting, it just forces them to spend the money on that bunker right away, which is well worth it. So 1 Rex Academy going down here. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna say this feels different. Why would you be doing this?
I think Fazek's just trying to hit a really fast stim timing and punish Sheep. So he's going to come out, hope there aren't too many Lings or any Sunkens at all, with stim and medics, and just suddenly be at the Zerg base. Because if you look at it, the rush distance is not that long. And if you can just pick off this Zergling scout, there's no overlords like to see him coming. So if you can get like halfway across the map even, before they realize you're coming with a stim push and they didn't have a Sunken already, Zerg is in so much trouble. Because once you have stim and medics, like Lings alone have a very tough time if you get the right engage. And look at that, stim coming up right away. We don't see any medics in production. Going for that second barracks though.
I mean, I am still concerned though. If you're trying to go for something like this, you're saying kill the Ling Scout if they get across the map, but it is Spire. There's gonna be Mutos, and a lot more Lings are in production, so Sheep might be in a really good position to hold this off. And then the Mutos, like everything's gonna be delayed back at home. You're gonna have less bio to work with, and I don't know if this affects the eBay time, but these Mutos might have a really good opportunity.
Yeah, the thing is, because he went 15cc, that delays Marine production a bit. So this doesn't really synergize, I suppose, because he literally only has 4 Marines right now. Adding down a couple more barracks.
Yeah, he's 4 Marines and 1 medic.
You know what, maybe his plan is here that instead of using this like fast stim and such to hit the Zerg before mutas, he just wants to get on the map when the mutas pop to stop them from harassing his base. Because that's how you deal with it in TVZ. If your bio is threatening to advance across the map, then Zerg has to kind of handle that army. But look at this Ling attack. Oh my gosh. Well, he can't stim those Marines unless they unload from the bunker, which they're not doing, and he's actually going to take all those out. And because it's only 1 barracks up until now, there's not much Terran can do here. Firebat on the way, but the Lings actually get between the medics. That's the only thing stopping them from flooding in here. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, Terran in so much trouble. That one Firebat doing his best. Gets stuck in the gap there with stim as well. But it's tough when you're all alone as a Firebat. Oh, and he will get taken out. Oh dear.
I mean, even like Firebats are being made, they're trying to stop the Ling threat. Mutas are in production already.
Yeah.
No, there's no anti-air at all.
This has happened to me so many times. It's like, oh god, Lings are in my base, and like I finally calm it down, and the Mutalists just fly in. The turret hasn't even started, and I'm just like, oh god.
Oh, please cancel those next Firebats. He has 2 made. He's got 2 more on the way. Please cancel and make Marines. You need anti-air so badly. You're going to be working towards a comsat. One Ling's still in here, managing to get some SCV kills. This is unbelievable how much damage he's getting with these Lings. But here come the Mutas, and nothing can shoot up right now.
For a second, I thought there was no eBay. There is at least an eBay. But yeah, with 5 Mutas here already, I don't really see how he's ever going to reclaim these barracks. They could kill a huge amount of SCVs as well if they chose to. You can make 3 Marines at once, and they have range done, actually, but it's not going to be that helpful at the end of the day. Oh, picks that off just like that. And yeah, where can Terran go from here? I don't think there's much hope. He's going to send 2 Firebats across the map, trying to pick off drones, but Mutalist's already in position to intercept that exact thing. So he's going to easily stop that from happening. Turret's trying to go down the natural, but these barracks are undefended. So few SCVs available right now.
Yeah, this is a rough spot here. Just one of those like things you were talking about. Just didn't have the ground ports. Yeah, Fazik's got to tap out of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna go with like that kind of build, you delay Marines so much, you need like a Ling tie wall or something.
Well, I think his setup was fine. It just needs to be kind of back more tucked in next to the ramp. Like, it's kind of counterintuitive how you need SimCity there. You actually just put the depot, like, touching the bottom of the ramp, which just seems ugly and bad. But it's really what you want there. But yeah, because he went 15cc and he cut Marine production, it was like, okay, well, you have this stim time, you're 4 Marines only. I mean, even if he just stimmed the Marines as the Lings attacked, he might have actually been able to hold off as well, because they just do so much more damage.
Like, really fast.
Yeah, they click so fast.
Though, right?
They're playing.
Like,
they're
see
playing
the
like
coming and be like, oh, he's committing.
Yeah, exactly. They're playing like TF2, trying to click with the pistol, like, and they just need some help with that.
TF2, what year is this, man?
Yeah, I know, 2020.
Oh my god.
Oh, the pistol doesn't even work that way anymore. All right, in the top right, in the peach, we have Fazik, and the bottom left, in the white, we have Sheep. Good lord, these colors! What have you done? Currently 1-1, and this is the final game because the order was a bit messed up, but they did actually play this map last.
Yep, this was labeled Game 3. I double checked and I made sure there wasn't some kind of shenanigans happening.
Yeah, fair enough.
A little unfortunate, but hey, all the maps are getting played. Doesn't really matter the order. Now, someone 1-2-0 and that happened. Then there's a little drama, a little controversy we could be throwing up. But fortunately, that didn't happen.
Do you think people like don't want to play Eclipse and they're like, all right, I'll agree to do Polypoint Game 2 if you agree? Like,
I would rather play Eclipse than fucking Shakura's Temple.
I mean,
yeah, but
look,
you can't cheat on the first, man.
I can be real though. If you know, it was kind of discovered that you'd agree to that, I don't think the match would be valid. No, honestly.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like CPL admins don't really care as long as it's like one of the right maps, right? Like,
I don't know.
Well, no, because now you get into dangerous territory. It's like, why don't we just play the whole thing on Polypoint?
Hey, can
The
we
whole
play?
season's only
Can we play
Dangerous
on Lost Temple? I just really like that map. Okay.
yeah.
please.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't Kespa. We're not gonna throw people in jail, right?
That's right.
No, really, what you want to play on? You want to play Reverse Temple. I know you want to play some
Oh,
Reverse
maybe.
Temple.
Well, I mean, is that actually bad for Terran? In that case, because you have these whack.
No,
ramps you can't defend.
it's terrible for Zerg. It's
Wait, it's even better?
atrociously.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, I can't imagine anything being better for Terran than Lost Temple. but okay.
Imagine all your bases have a high ground, like they're sunk in the ground, so lurkers can't.
Yeah,
defend.
yeah. Well, that's the thing though. The lurkers come to the top of your ramp, then you die, right? Oh, it's the BSL map again. Guys, stop hosting the BSL eclipse. My God. Nothing wrong with BSL, but this ain't BSL. It looks like we're like plagiarizing BSL casts right now or something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, every time I get my shill opportunity, I shill some BSL stuff. Like, hey,
Sure,
we're all
BSL's
part of the
great.
foreign scene.
BSL's
Yeah,
great, but
well,
this
like-
ain't BSL. That's all.
we just took a VOD of like Terror and Eon Zerg and changed the names or something. Like,
Yeah, that's right. CPL it doesn't actually exist. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
50% of it is just like ladder games we took, and the other 50% is just like BSL games renamed. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played in CPL yet. I'm just saying, maybe it is fake.
Oh, look at this drone block in this hatchery. Once again, Terran wants to go for this 15cc because you can always get the one scout on this map. But this drone making it so annoying. Look, to be honest, you're a Terran. You have this advantage. Just build the CC off center and then float it rather than let it be delayed this much, I reckon. But he does chase that away. And he did get a Marine right away this time, but he needs a second depot. Oh, there it is. Not getting that SimCity natural. Oh, that SCV's going to take out that hatchery. Okay, no, he gets pushed back. That was close.
I was gonna take out that hatchery.
Yeah, man. Did you see him? Working away at that thing? He did like 20 damage.
that drill's powerful, man.
Yeah. He gets to its heart and then, you know, it dies.
No,
Yeah,
I
he's like
was
vital
looking.
organ.
Now, I was looking at Fazik making the adaptation, getting the second racks, not doing this one record cabi this time, realizing he just didn't have enough units last time, not going to put himself in the same situation.
What is with this SCV? Like, is he a survivor from the other battle where, like, Ling's called all his friends and he's like, I'm going to get those Zerg? He's so aggressive. You really need to go back and scout the main, though. I think it's a mistake to send this SCV home, to be honest. Because you really need to keep track of what Zerg's doing in the main there. He did get Lair before speed, though, so that's like a significant amount of the intel you can get with the SCV. There's still so much more to see, and he does realize and turn around. Once again, these 6 Lings being made to force the bunker. Depot not down here this time, but with 4 Marines in a bunker, I think Terran will be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing unusual we're seeing for this one. Just Fax is going to have more production. This SCV gets right back in the main again. Right as the Lair's going to finish, sees no Hydra, then going to see the Spire timing as well. So, really fortunate here. Spire being made at the natural, actually, but still, you don't see a Hydra then. That's all the info you really need when you see Lair. Like, what else is it going to be?
Could be.
Interestingly, sorry, you go,
Queen's
Colt.
No, I was
Just
gonna
like
be-
straight up?
Yeah, straight up.
Well, I mean, you get an Evo, you get a Queen's Nest, you got a Stark Launcher, you just make like 6 Sunkens, it's a thing, I guess. Look, I wouldn't recommend it on Eclipse, though, because you've got so far to go with those Ultras once they hatch if you're going to try and get the Terran. You know,
Would you recommend that, period?
I mean, yeah. As long as you open with 9 pull speed, yes.
Oh, God,
Alright,
you
let's
need
do
a
it.
full speed campaign.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. If I ever become like coach level, which I probably won't, then I'll like run team 9 pull speed.
Man, you have a way about your words that are just fantastic. Link's moving forward. They're going to be able to spot it 5-6 moves out. But this SCV is still doing a great job scouting around. It's going to be able to go towards this third, confirm that the hatchery is being started. So good knowledge that we're seeing from here. And that Spire is nearing completion. Looking around, seems like Larva's not being especially built up like crazy. So I think Sheep's gonna have some units, but not like really trying to go in super hard with it. And 5-6 definitely has more units, more prepared this game, especially since Lings aren't killing everything already.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stim was a little bit delayed here, but it will be ready before the Mutalisks are at the Terran base. You know, I wonder, can you actually get to that third night before Mutalisks are out? Because you would be trading your army for that in essence, but I think it would be worth it. But because Eclipse has a bit of a longer rush distance, he can't now. No, it's too late now. Go back, Fezzik. Because if his Stim was right on time, I mean, and he went right away with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a nice little link counterattack. It's a couple Marines, but nice micro.
The medics, though, the medics are still here. If you can kill off the rest of these, the Marine going to be just enough to take out these Lings. I was going to say, if they can just actually keep these medics draining their energy, because look at that push move that's going across. There's no medics here at all.
I mean, this is what I was saying. This push is too late, right? Because he's already out for you here. He needed to go like right away when the medics are done, and Stim needed to be on time. But now these Marines look like they're going to be easy pickings. Oh, that drone. Rip. Only 5 Mutalisks here right now, but it is more than a match for 5 Marines, that's for sure. Oh yeah, it's gonna
Yeah,
clean it up easily.
easy way to clean it up, no issue. We're actually seeing Sheep lean into this. Ooh, more kills too. Be able to catch some of the reinforcements. So big win here for Sheep. Managing to take out a bunch of stuff. Back at home, adding a lot of drones on behind this. So the threat of these mutants, we clear that enough army, feels very safe here. And you see turrets frantically get added on in time before the mutants are going to be able to get here. The mutants are actually getting +1 armor. I feel like you usually see attack, if anything. When
Yeah,
you're playing
typically
Spyro?
against Terran you do, because against turrets in particular, you can two-shot it with 11 meters instead of 2 shots and then it burns down like 2 seconds later. Also, obviously, for killing marines and stuff, it's useful. But he only made 5 mutilas so far. I mean, I guess since he killed off that entire attack with just these 5, making the drones was great, but at the same time, it means he can't be aggressive here. You see, he didn't even try and engage these turrets, and I think that's the right call, because 5 mutilas is not a very big pool of hit points when you're getting hit by 3 turrets at once.
Yeah, really, it's enough just to keep your opponent honest, force them to actually make the turns. Not that you're trying to kill them, but look, 4th and natural, you got 2, or actually 3 over the production, you got 2 over the main mineral line. There's a lot of investment considering that's only going to be a couple mutas. But as I say that, here come more. We're adding on a bunch more now, 7 more in production. So you're going to make use of that +1 upgrade, you're going to be swinging up. Maybe trying to catch this opponent off guard. It's like, oh, you're not adding on more, you're not going in, it's fine, and then just trying to hit him late with a sucker punch.
As you say, 4 in the natural, 3 in the main is quite a lot. 2 in the main mineralize, okay. Okay, Scan's going down here. Now he sees that there's no hive yet, but he does see the lurker transition is coming. But you need more marines in this to move out against a full stack of mutas, that's for sure.
Okay, so we have a Queen's Nest and a lot of mutas and an air upgrade. Do you think this could be Guardians?
Yeah, it
or
could
would we
be.
just skip Guardians entirely?
He certainly could.
But you wouldn't want the armor because they should be out of range anyway. You got all this great cliff that you can hide your guardians on.
You'd just get attacked, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely. That's a thing too. I don't know. Look, it wouldn't be useless because they have to kind of come in marine range sometimes. But yeah, maybe attack would have been better. I don't know. Maybe he just wants to keep this muta stack active as the game goes on.
Well, speaking of not being active, they were just sitting there for a little bit. Phasix pushing forward a little tiny bit, but still, like, that +1 armor is done. He's actually going into armor on the ground as well and working towards that hive. So he's going to be able to keep threatening around here. I think Phasix got to be careful how he engages this in the middle of the map like this. Good micro to start taking things off. And it's Sheep trying to get some damage done. Yeah.
So far, pretty good micro from both players, actually, but I think Sheep needs to just retreat. Once he's up against these marines with range, you know, you can't really engage it when they're clumped up. You have to wait for them to start moving and get spread out. Continuing to make another mutalisks to reinforce that, by the way. But he's going to be lurkers from here on out, I think. And look, I expect he's going to go, oh, that was a great swipe. I don't know how nothing died. That hit like 4 marines at once, and yet none of them died. It's the power of medics.
Yeah, seriously. Turns out medics are good. And
wow. So I guess people make them for a reason.
Yeah, I just thought people, like, misclicked. They got medics instead of marines.
That's right.
But if they're actually good, yeah.
Well, actually, we're seeing 2 starports done, working on double add-ons as well. So we're going to be able to get that science vessel production up soon. Science facility on the way as well. And more barracks being added on. We just got to be careful not to get caught out too badly here. A Scan goes down to kill that overlord that was hanging outside. And Phasix really trying to chase it down, moving pretty far away from his mutas. Scanning a lot, he's really trying to be aggressive on these mutas right now.
Yeah, we can see they're losing their value quite rapidly against these marines. But we do actually see a defiler mount coming up this time, which surprises me. But I guess it's actually going to go for more of that typical Ling Lurker Defiler hive play. Maybe secure a full face, then get the, what do you call it? The Ultralisks. By the way, double dropship coming up here. That's very interesting because against mutalisks, that's typically not a good option. But if Zerg's transitioning to lurkers and the mutas are out of position, that could potentially be devastating. Needs to be careful for a counterattack here, though.
Yeah, and we're out seeing that transition into ultras again as well. So Defiler Mount done, consume on the way, but looking like gonna be ultras. Has 3 bases up, but I would love to see like more gas than this 3. Feels like it's gonna be running things tight here if you're trying to get defilers and everything. Phasix scanning around, trying to see what's going on. It looks like he's trying to push out a little bit, make sure there's no lurkers in a sneaky spot. But it's still just both players powering up pretty good. The supply between them is looking reasonably even. A little supply block, though, is going to hold Sheep back, but it's still going to buy time for the Ultralisk Cavern to finish, Consume to finish, all these like nice upgrades. We're just trying to find damage, but that's a lot of turrets at the main. It's going to be hard to push in there.
Yeah, at this point in the game, you don't mind like if you can trade them well, because you know it radiates not too far away. But the thing is, he did get double dropship, right? And if Wheelers can intercept those, obviously they're one of the best units to stop that. And he's pulling them back just in time. Wait, did he cancel the dropships? Where'd they go? Oh,
yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, he cancelled them. He did make vessels. Okay. Well, to be honest, that might be for the best since the Mutalisk is still at large.
Yeah, that makes more sense. But I mean, you're up to a whole bunch of racks.
He scans the lurkers too, so he can stim forward and get them before Zerg can react. Maybe. Is he going to irradiate? Well, I think he'd be better off just spreading and killing these because I think you want to save the irradiates for Defilers here. Well, nonetheless, he does irradiate them and force a retreat. That irradiate one burrows. I love that move just to slow Terran down a little bit. That's really smart because you know it's going to die anyway, right?
Yeah. I'm seeing a big move forward from Fazix. Sheep trying to take a fourth base over that bottom right corner. So Fazix, we can go kill that whatever they're looking for.
He consumed a Defiler at the third.
Oh no! Well, I mean, he has enough energy for Swarm now. The only Defiler that natural getting irradiated on is number one. Okay, he will be safe here for now. But I mean, Terran's kind of establishing this chokehold. If he can scout for all the potential third bases and kill that bottom right, then he's looking pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I like we're seeing plague in research. I think if you're going to be going into ultras, being able to get a good plague in the army, just drain that medic energy, makes those fights a lot more comfortable. And a lot more ground upgrades on the way as well. Lots of Scourge being made, going to try to get rid of some of these vessels. But Fazik's not spreading himself too thin, having the Marines covering everything. So shouldn't be in too bad of a spot. Still really gearing up for a lot of army here, not trying to take a third base or anything. So I like Fazik's position, but I do feel like he is going to have to actually do something at some point.
Well, you definitely want that third base if you can take it, but 2 base versus 3 base, I think Terran's totally fine. It's just this 4th base that he doesn't. Oh wait, he's found it. I just realized there's a Marine over there. Did a vessel fall? I had to look away for a second. I think it didn't. Yeah, if he can just get over and deny that 4th, I think he's looking fine. Because Terran can just take their own third a little bit later. It's no big deal. But he's really not reacting to the third he found. He's still sending Marines to the top left. Now, I understand he wants to deny that double gas at all costs, but at the same time, he knows there's a base in the bottom right, so I would have thought he'd want to go kill that ASAP.
I mean, he's been using the scans more to move his army around, not get caught off by hold lurkers or anything. I think he's using this little Marine to see if there's any other bases on the map. He confirm.
Oh no, don't go in there. What are you doing? Okay, he loses a bunch of Marines. Yeah, I guess if he knows that's the only location he can commit there, he scans it again. I guess he makes sure it didn't cancel or something. And now he's going to send a contingent over there. Now, Mutalisks are pretty good versus Plague Marines, but he's sending a fair few healthy ones there as well. And with these upgrades, I don't think the Mutalisks will be able to stand much of a chance for a good irradiate. Oh, that Defiler trying to get another Plague. Doesn't seem good opportunity. Forced to retreat. Well, Mutalisks going to try. No medics over here. Oh, there's one.
I mean, they're still finding some pretty good angles here where they're going to be able to catch some things out. Marines starting to work on the hatchery. Need to fight against the Mutas. Mutas taking some big damage, already down to 6, so lost a couple almost immediately. Stim Marines with upgrades. Turns out there are pretty strong units still here. Now, there are a lot of vessels in the middle of the map that this could be the opportunity to go and try and kill them. Sheep bleeding onto the map with some legs trying to get some character damage, but the Zerg 4th does go down, and Fazik's even set up to take up the 3rd. Terrence is in a very good spot. Sheep has the high tech, has all the tricks, has to get something
done. On the vessels, no. Oh my god, that's huge.
Yes.
Plague.
Yeah, that's right. That's the OG Plague right there, right? Oh my god. But where are the Mutalisks? They all died, right? He has to make another one if he wants to take these out.
There's 6 at the natural. They're hanging out.
He needs to send them in. Look how vulnerable these vessels are right now. The Ultra is popping as well. It's going to be the perfect timing for the Zerg. Taking the top right is the Terran, though, interestingly. Not sure what Terran's going to do all that gas. I guess you start going to battle cruisers, right? Good irradiate's going down, but I'm just, like, in suspense here when these vessels are going to fall. Ooh, that Ultra coming out. So we got +2 carapace versus +2 weapons. So Terran still has a shot here. But where are all the Marines? There's so few left in this location. They were wheeled down by Plague and that attack on the bottom right. Zerg just going to crush this force here and wants to stop them coming across the map. Vessels need to get out of there, dude.
All the Marines that went to kill that 4th never rejoined up with the army or anything. You're seeing that Sheep is trying to move across the map now. Ultras got their upgrades, 4 armor plus the 1 base, so they're still pretty strong. The attack upgrades are there. They're attacking to a lot of Marines and the bunker behind it, but these Ultras getting rallied in, getting reinforced. They don't even need Darkstorm to kind of work their way through this. Sheep finding a great fight, getting a good attack. And look at the reinforcements that are coming from that 4th, even catching some of those out, slowing it down. D-Matrix on the ramp, trying to buy time for his army to reinforce to get more things done, but Unfortunately, don't irradiate the Ultra at this spot. This is not what you're looking to do
Yeah,
here.
this is brutal for Terran. Looks like Zerg's just going to swarm in through here. This is the worst feeling is Terran's just like, oh god, Ultras and Swarm. Swarm on your Nat's a very fast way to lose the game, of course, as well. These Marines trying to come in here, but the Lings alone clean them up. The rallied Marines just walking into their deaths there. The Swarms keep going. Wow, he's still going with these Defilers. Dropships here to evacuate everyone. It's like that Terran mission, like, you know, they're here to just pick everyone up and go. Get out while you still can. Yeah, that's right. But I don't think he's going to survive for 30 more minutes here. Look at all these Lings coming in. Oh, Plague the vessels. Plague everything. Oh, he just swarmed.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't even believe, though, because Fazik's been in such a good position for such a long time. One decisive fight where he got half the army out and just immediately turned the tables, and Sheep won like 2 minutes later. It's unbelievable he found that opportunity.
Well, he wasn't able to put much pressure on. Zerg was happily mining from 3 gas for a while and just built up, right? And he lost a lot of Marines getting baited in with Plague and stuff like that. And like you pointed out, he didn't have his whole army together either because he had units in the bottom right, he had units in the top left, so that half army got crushed on its own. So just did a good job macroing up that like strong attack, I think.
Yeah, definitely did a good job finding the opportunity, but it's like right before that fight happened, right before that Plague on the vessels, like Terran was up a very notable mass supply and then just getting pulled out a little too thinly. A good fight happened to kill out some Marines, and Sheep, those Ultras hit the map, and that was enough.
So
I mean, that's kind of like,
sorry,
that's Terran though, right? Like, especially Bow units are so fragile. Like, if you look away or you walk slightly too far into Lurker Spines, like, you lose so many units so fast.
So that's 2-1 for Sheep, right?
Yeah.
Wow, well done. Alright, let's get into our next series.
Let's go, Amigos.
Turns out Sheep, if he's not doing the wacky 2-base lurker into Ultra play, the Zerg play looks a lot more stable.
Yeah, that was a really solid standard play.
Alright, in the bottom right, we in the yellow, we have Jedi 1, and the top right in the green, we have George. Who is for who? We have Jedi 1 for Mech and Cheese, and George for Amigos. So another PBZ. Good thing I got 2 Protoss players at my side, right?
Right.
Sure.
I'm conflicted because the Zerg is on my team, so I don't know. Do I like my team or do I like my?
Well,
my
we
faction?
had this debate yesterday, and Saetzero.
Actually, no, we don't address it. What are you gonna root for? Your team or your race?
I don't know. I think because I know George and I played with him a lot, I think I have to go with George.
See, exactly.
Right.
But,
okay.
But like, that's like the tiebreaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it is in doubt, right?
Yeah.
It's not an easy decision, is it, Saetzero?
Yeah.
No, it's a totally easy decision. Either you root for your team or you just pull the caster. I'm not gonna be biased, totally impartial. Don't pull any of this. Like
I'm not gonna lie to
I
people.
rooting.
Yeah.
Well, don't root against your team. They're gonna see this video. My coach roots for his opponent. What the fuck?
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna lie to my team and tell my teammates that I'm totally impartial when I'm not, or anyone viewing this, that would just be false.
Well, you should be.
Every game has a villain and a hero. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the villain's always Zerg. Not really.
Depends. Depends how the game goes.
Overpool opening from George. Nothing too weird here. Yeah, so we're not seeing the rise of the gateway expand on the higher tier. This night we're seeing a lot of forge openings instead. People just wanting to get into a reasonable macro game, and I respect the choice. It's not like
is this scouting or are they both expanding? Is this like what we saw in that other game? Is he going to take both of these bases instead of his natural? Oh, I guess that other drone is just scouting actually.
Yeah, one scout, one expansion, doesn't want to even have to deal with this probe. Just a bad is like, fine, I'll delay the natural, I don't care. And then the probe's going to be able to get back in here and sees the pool's done, but only sees one egg morphing right now, so knows he can cut some corners here. That can already start, though, unfortunately, but still going to be able to get that Nexus up. Not the end of the world here. More Lings on the way. The probe's going to be able to see everything, so Jedi 1 still has all the info they're really looking for right now.
You there, Protoss players, is that cannon position correct?
Don't ask me about walls, man.
Oh, come on, you play Protoss.
Okay, so this map is weird, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's fine. I would probably put it like to the right of the pylon, I think, but I think this is okay.
Yeah, because I'm thinking you put the gateway above that. Wow,
right.
second cannon. Intriguing. I mean, he does see 6
Well,
Zerglings, but I don't know.
Well, he saw
Yeah,
8.
I
He
think-
saw 8 links.
Yeah, if you see 6
That's all.
or more lings, you
Are there
you
only
can.
6 on the map? Where's your
Oh.
8 Zerglings, dude?
I thought the 2 hatched. I saw 3 in production.
They-
I thought the first 2 hatched already.
Oh,
My bad.
They killed each other. You know, it was like to prove who's strongest.
No.
Yeah, that's right. Only the strongest Zerglings out here. Well, we got 6, survival of the fittest Zerglings. I don't know if he needed that, though. I feel like we just pull a few probes. I don't know. What do I know? I don't play
Yeah,
Protoss.
6
I could see
lings beat one
6.
cannon.
Yeah, 6 links kill 1 can for sure, but I could see there be with that first can positioning being so far to the bottom and left
Yeah.
of that pylon. You can probably just walk around it.
Yeah, that's what
mostly.
I'm thinking, right? Like, this choke doesn't seem that well covered just by the original cannon, but I guess now that he has 2, it's a moot point. And Zerg just going up to 3 base, so you're not taking the 4th or anything yet. What happened to that scouting drone? I'm trying to find it. Is it still at large, or did it go to the Protoss base and then return? Or did it just return without going anywhere?
It must have gone back at some point.
Yeah, I don't think it died. Okay, Hydra Den coming up again. Ah, the classic. How many PvZs can you cast in a row without seeing a Hydra bust, right? It's never more than like 2.
All right, now I'm rooting for a Jedi 1. If George went for the.
That's right, now we have
I
a
know.
villain, see? Now there's a
Yeah.
villain, now there's a villain. Can the
Yeah,
noble Protoss hold out against the backstabbing ways of the Zerg? Oh, look at this, he finds the gap. He's like, oh,
Wow,
no, wait. Changed his
just
mind.
wanders on it.
I guess with 2
What do you
cannons.
what do you mean finds that gap? That gap is the most visible gap in the world. Like
Yeah, I
there's no
guess.
finding anything on that.
Fair enough.
The Protoss scouted the den here, so he's gonna know what's
Ooh.
coming.
Oh, it did too. Wow, where'd that probe come from? Was it just in the
it
whole
kinda-
time?
It was sitting at at the Zerg at the 12 o'clock, so I don't know if it was like the first scouting probe or he sent in like a second one. But all the lasers are outside the Protoss base, so
Yeah.
probe is able to
Love-
just wander in.
Love the adaptation from Jedi 1 here. Gets all that information. Citadel first.
Yeah.
No Stargate. I want Fighting Force. I want those faster storms. Respecting the threat that this push could do. Doing such a good job keeping this probe alive. He's going to even be able to see if it's going to be Hydras being made or like just, I'm just bluffing. It's just a prank. And he goes into drones instead. So really doing a great job getting as much scouting info as he can. And a couple Zealots moving across the map here. I can't believe the legs didn't try to chase them down.
The
They
Zealots
might-
are
I don't
here
know if
when
they
the
just
Hydras
weren't
are
seen.
catching. Who's really the villain, I ask you? Like, morality is subjective. Here come the Zealots. Gonna take out these drones. You can say the drones are innocent, but what does innocent really mean, say the Zealots? Actually, that was fight the Hydras who are fighting back.
You're
That's
just
fair.
you're just a Terran player. You can just say whatever you want right now. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it does take out 1. I mean, this is already really bad for Zerg, I think. Just the disruption that's going on right now, and he's really supposed to be heading across and attacking the...
Yeah,
Protoss.
yeah.
Now, one thing is Zerg's
Well, also-
favor here... Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say it's also just that because the Zealots are here, they're gonna see how many Hydras are getting made before they're
Yeah.
across the map. Really kind of getting a good idea here. A couple Hydras started to pick away, but that one first can gonna make it a little hard to get position. Cans being added onto Jedi 1 is respecting the threat that is happening, but the Temple Archives is completely done at this point, so gonna be able to move towards whatever tech they need to. But losing that first gateway is now we want DT on the way, but there is an Overlord already outside the front of the base.
So Jedi 1 got a goon and it killed the Overlord in his base, and that
Ooh.
blocked George at like 35 of 35 right when he wanted to make a bunch of Hydras.
Oh, well
So
done
that was
there.
some big value.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like Jedi's handling this so far. The thing is, the DT is going to be the wrong choice. Like you said, George very aptly put this Overlord here for just that purpose. And then there's no way for
Well-
Jedi 1 to kill it.
The Overlord might be able to, or the DT might be able to just run by. Like,
That's
go
true.
straight up.
That's
Yeah.
true. Alright, Jedi 1 playing it safe here, getting ready to pull the
Keep it
probes.
down.
I mean, I think he has a decent
It's-
setup here. Like 5 cannons? Okay, it does need more, actually. Plenty of minerals. to fire
It's still gonna be difficult now, and you still see no Templars in production, no Storm, or now as I said, Templars finally started, but Storm hasn't been researched, not even started yet. So the splash gonna be a while away. And George sees the cans, he's doing a good job pressuring forward, but back at home, adding on more drones, moving on with his life, getting out of his game plan, while Jedi 1 still has to play this massive defense right now, just to make sure that the threat that could kill him doesn't actually do the job.
Yeah, but it looks like he's totally safe now. Interesting that he didn't try and sneak that DT out, he just kept it in the front in case the Hydras really do rush in. DT can get massive damage in that case. But yeah, he's totally got enough cannons now. Oh, he's going to sneak past. George would
Well, there-
see it if he was watching, but I don't know if he was watching.
Yeah, it looks like George was macroing or something at home.
Oh, I mean, he moves the Hydras. I think maybe he did.
Yeah, it doesn't want to take any big losses here. There's detection, but no fighting force at the third, so that might have been the real key on why moving it back. I think there's going to be...
With it, it's just... This DT is going all the way, man.
There's no detection. God. There's detection, but there's no fighting force. If you can get
drones are a fighting force. Go get him. Okay, no, they don't want to go get him.
What?
Right.
Wow, this DT.
Gets 3 there. Yeah, now he comes to the main. Is there an overlord here? No, there isn't. Go for the drones. Go for the drones. What are you waiting for?
There's literally an overlord.
I'm sorry. I didn't see it. The player thing was over it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, you can see if I was playing Protoss here, I would have just sent him into his death. But yeah, good damage so far. Getting 3 drones.
Yeah, there's one overlord in the middle of all the drones. You're definitely detecting the entire thing.
I did not see it.
That's all good. It got the Hydras to go away from the base, bought himself some time. He's managing to get everything going, adding on the gateways and starting to get that force up. Now, there is one lane that is protecting what would probably be the third base from the Protoss, so knowing that it's still 2 base and really powering up here, I think George is going to have an idea of what they're looking at. And Hydras come back to get a little bit done, find that first Dragoon kill. Now, DT still has not been eliminated in the main. Very patient right here. Definitely a little dangerous here if we can get something. But he's just, this DT, I'm going to look at it all game, wait for it to make a move.
Well, as patient as Jedi one is, George is equally patient keeping those Hydras in there, right? Not trying to hunt around for it or anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it might just be a stalemate forever. Maybe the game will end, this DT will still be here waiting for his shot. Who knows?
He'll just, like, slowly pick off, like, rally drones.
That would be totally worth it. Honestly, he already got 3 drones, which is not bad. Okay, a bunch of
upgrades. Upgrades for both players about to start finishing up.
But what kind of upgrades, Saetzero? What kind?
Ooh.
Well, there's the normal upgrades. That's what I was bringing up first. And then Spice happened. That we're seeing more DTs getting out and Maelstrom being researched.
Oh, look, the DT got value. He got a Hydra.
Whoa. What the? This DT is just like, I dare you to fight me.
And they say, okay. Alright, bro, you want to fight? Oh, no.
Still, causing some disruption here. More DTs got added on, making that Dark Archon are going to start building up that energy. Now, Maelstrom, underseen, but definitely a strong ability. That giant AoE stun is so good against Zerg. Lynx, or these Zealots moving forward, lots of Hydra just kind of looking at him. I'm surprised the Hydra actually didn't take the fight there. Yeah,
wow, why did they were just on move command. They don't care about the Zealots, and they run back. Honestly, it seemed like Jedi one is super brave, just like running amongst them. Look how many storms he has available right now, though. It takes a long time to get to the energy for Maelstrom, though, so he's not going to have that for a little while.
Yeah, I actually don't remember offhand. What does it cost, like 100?
Yes,
yeah.
How much does lockdown cost, guys? That one I don't know. Is it 75? It's 100? Oh, man.
I think so.
Can't ghosts get a break in anything? The storms cost 75, but lockdown costs 100. What kind of world is this?
Ghosts got their break by being good in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I guess so. That's kind of sad.
George trying to get his 4th base up at the 12 o'clock. Jedi 1 still gearing up here. Now, with all these storms and zealots and one good Maelstrom, he has enough for the first one here. Got to be careful. The lurkers are available as well, and I don't see any detection.
Yeah. I mean, if he Maelstroms them before they burrow, no problem, right?
Sure, but we're seeing Jedi 1. He doesn't even want to engage this. He's trying to maneuver around, using all these big ramps here, trying to get in a good position. George's going to have to make a decision on what they're going to do, if it's going to be a counterattack or staying at home for defense. A Robo about to finish. The detection's still quite a ways away. Going for the engage.
Oh, no. That's a perfect burrow. Oh, Zealot extermination. Oh, my God.
Splash damage. So big.
That was horrible for Protoss. Wow, that's like half his army or more just gone.
Yeah.
Wow. I can hardly imagine that being a better engage if Zerg had like hold lurkers spread out like that. Like he just burrowed all around him and the Zealots had nowhere to go. Oh my gosh.
And the storms were so good, but like it almost doesn't matter now.
Yeah. And look, he can't even get home. Well, he can still take his 3rd, right? Or he can try. This like line of lurkers just cutting off all reinforcements here. I don't know. Oh, the observatory's on the way, so Observer's still a ways to go. Well, he still has that Maelstrom. Is it time? Not time yet.
Oh, I think these lurkers are in hold position. Or they
were. Weird.
Oh.
Well, now they're not. Oh.
But still, no detection. Big damage going through again here. And you can see that George kind of got this little force surrounded. It's still pretty intimidating. You got the one more storm available, still at the Maelstrom that hasn't been used yet. So
There it
gotta be
goes.
careful. There's
Oh,
the
nice.
Maelstrom. Yeah, pretty good. Hits a good amount of the Hydras there. Does a good job, but these lurkers still just cutting off reinforcements. I don't even think George is sweating this base too much at all, knowing that he'll eventually be able to clean it up.
Ooh,
Here
right
comes
now,
the lurkers
maybe.
moving in.
Oh
And
my
no
god.
detection here. Gonna be able to get everything killed off here. One storm goes down, pretty decent at hitting a couple and managing to kill one of the lurkers, but still, Jedi 1's army getting whittled down pretty far. These lurkers doing a massive job. You're gonna slow down this third base. You're gonna get a lot of kills. And George's position, it keeps looking better as the game goes on.
Yeah, and look, he's going to lose his main
because
army here
go.
with the Dark Archon as well. And this is what I was saying yesterday on the cast, that like lurkers clumped in one place really are just OP. It's just that splash damage exists that makes Zerg not want to do that. And like he's trying to storm his way in here, but that Nexus is definitely not going to make it. Oh, he doesn't even cancel it. Oh, no. You're going to take these lurkers out, bro.
Yeah, and like Protoss wants to start their third base like around 12 minutes. So you get shut down at almost 14 minutes. Like, I mean, he's got barely any money left in his main, and his natural is starting to get low too. So Jedi 1 is like absolutely on a very short clock here.
Look at all these lurkers in the middle of the map. Jesus.
Yeah, that's
Oh
a
my
lot,
God.
right? Imagine if he'd pushed up there and stormed those and then be able to turn this game around. I mean, as it stands, it looks like George could just like run in there almost, but there are storms
Yeah.
available now. He needs to spread those out.
I mean, this is still just a rough position. There's still that laying that a spot in the bot side bases, so it knows that Protoss isn't going crazy trying to expand over there. George set up the fifth base of their own. The worker counts are about even. The supply is about even. It's not like George's army's bad. More lurkers going to slow down this move out from Jedi 1. He's just trying to hold on and get a base established here, but George's position just keeps getting more intimidating, especially since he has basically full control of the high ground with a
Yeah.
crap ton of lurkers.
I mean, even though some down on this extra path the Zealots trying to go through, and this is exactly what the Zealots don't want to meet. Well, they're not going to go up there yet. I guess this is still a base Protoss can take without going up the ramp.
This is like 12 zealots coming to kill this one link.
Yeah. And the
Came to
lurkers,
the wrong neighborhood.
the lurkers just stand by and watch. Oh, but now they're sneaking through here. Oh god. Again, exactly what the
Oh,
Zealots don't
no.
want to meet. Plenty of damage going down. Oh,
Oh
my
my god,
gosh.
so much splash damage.
Yeah. Wow, it really melts through them, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that we're seeing now a Spire being added on, like this late in the game.
Well, he has the upper
Like,
hand, so if you suddenly
Yeah,
show
I
him what
bet
to
it's
do.
first.
Oh my god, again,
it's for
so many
Scourge to
lurker
kill
spines.
observers. Like,
Yeah, that seems reasonable. It's just still, I'm just a little bit surprised here, George. Having a lot of money, but still the gas income a little bit rough here. As that top left base gets established, that'll be much less of a problem. But I was be expecting to see, like, as we're seeing more Evo chambers being added, more upgrades for this really intimidating ground army instead.
Yeah, I mean, I think if Zerg just maintains his position there and keeps pumping units, as long as they can deny this, I guess, 5 o'clock base, they'd be looking good. But the thing is, Pro's kind of having an easier time getting in there, because Zerg hasn't moved the lurk field down to that next ramp. And look at this, Pro's something to claim his location. Gonna try and head up here, though, but so much has been lost to these lurkers so far. I don't know if the Protoss army is actually strong enough for this fight. Well, here he goes. Ooh, good storms to start off. Great storms taking out those lurkers just like that. But look at all the reinforcements coming in now. Now, the Zerg's upgrades are not very good. Only +1
oh,
carapace
the
to...
observer gets sniped.
Yeah, that's well done there. Only +1 carapace for Protoss' +2 attack. Oh, there's the storms you need. That's how you deal with those clumped up lurkers.
All
But
the
unfortunately running out of energy just in time. And forced to retreat. Oh no, High Templar. Oh, sticking out.
I mean, the Zerg still has plenty of army in the middle of the map too. It's not like he's losing all of his fighting force. Jedi 1's still focusing so hard in this area down the bottom, but it's not securing him another base. It's not really putting any pressure on, while George gets to boldly just transfer drones across the entire map because he just has all the presence, and it's going to be hard for Jedi 1 to get it out. I did see a shuttle getting made earlier, so that could be the kind of opportunity where maybe you can get something back and get something done here. But just all these lurkers and hydras, lings now being added on now that hive tech's done. Just everything controlling this middle part of the map. It's gonna be so hard for us to move into it.
Hey, look at that observer speed observer go. They zip around pretty fast.
Yep.
Alright,
Pretty
so I'm
good.
trying to get up here again, but oh my god. Look at the number of lurkers. This map is just lurker central apparently, but I mean, goons are
God.
the unit that can kind of do something about it, but I mean, there's just not enough, I don't think. So many lings coming in, and they're definitely the unit that can do something about goons. Decent storm, but doesn't quite take them out. Oh my gosh, you need those zealots in there! Oh my god, there's so many of them. Oh,
Crackling just so good.
yeah.
It's like the cost.
These
of, like,
aren't even
3
cracklings, by
goons.
the way. These are
Yeah,
just
they
seedlings.
Oh, wow.
didn't. The recovery's about to finish. It's like inches away. So now they would be cracklings if more fights keep breaking out. But we are seeing Defiler mounts done, consumes on the way, so you're gonna be able to fight this Dragoon army. And Drop's getting researched, so all those overlords float in the middle of the map. Some big moves could happen for the Zerg as well. George just keeps rallying. Like, look at the supply for George.
Wow.
Actually, well ahead of Jedi 1 at this point. Just still building a lot of workers, has this great economy, just making sure he's not letting off the throttle at all with the macro.
Well, you know how it goes. Supply's the same. Zerg wins the game, and he's actually ahead. Establishing all these hatcheries everywhere, all these bases, really just dominating. But Protoss has 4 bases now. That's enough that he can get a max out for sure. And maybe he can make something happen with that. I mean, eventually Protoss may be able to inch their way across to the bottom left. They might have a shot here. And like I was saying, the upgrades for Zerg are not amazing. Protoss already hit +3, and +2 carapace is not done for Zerg yet. Now, with these Dragoons here, this base is well defended enough, I think, so cook it in there. At least not without Swarm.
Well, you're saying the
there's a
Protoss on
lot of
4
links.
bases, but 2 of them are mined out. He's not on 4 bases at all. It's still
True.
2. Like, he's gotta get everything going. He was so turtled up on the original 2 for so long, and George back at home, like, despite the work count, all of his bases are still looking very healthy.
How about this? He has taken 4 bases. He's not on 4
Yes.
bases, he has taken. So, a bunch of mutas being made, yeah.
Yes, Muta switch. Let's go. This is the kind of thing that if your opponent's not ready for, can really take things off. Now, we do see a shuttle moving across with a Dark Archon in it and some...
No, it's a regular
High tempo?
Archon.
Oh, it's regular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Storm's going down all these links though. Nice Storm's there, but he really needs them for the lurkers. Look how clumped these lurkers are. Like, you don't want to engage that with normal forces. This is where you just, lay the Storms down and let them all die. But no Storms going down them yet. Link's getting cleaned up in pretty high numbers somehow, though. Wow, I'm surprised with these
Drop
Links
is at
so little.
the
Ooh.
whatever third base that is,
But
but
he's
no
got to
Storm
micro
yet.
his
Just the
army.
Archon.
Yeah, so much to do. I mean, the Archon's going to do work. If it could just take out that one Hydra, all the Storms go down. But meanwhile, the Protoss army getting reduced. A lot of drones dying. How many drones? That was 10 drones. And this Archon's not done yet. Well, he's having a tough time, whatever he's trying to do, though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Where's he
Protoss
going? I
army...
think it's like,
Sorry, you go.
I think the Archon is like grouped with the army, so he just
Oh.
ran out of that base and into the lurker field.
Unfortunate. Yeah, and the thing is, I think Protoss' attention was split between his army and that drop, and he didn't really have the Storms he needed. Oh, the shuttle gets taken out. Drops 1 Templar, though. Oh, that was worth. Nice. But yeah, he really needs to storm these lurkers, but the Lings kind of pushed him back there. And now his army got reduced again. Oh my gosh, here they come. If DT's at Cape Boys, what are Mutilas? Flappy Boys, I guess? Oh, he's trying to push up here. I don't know about this. Nice storm of the Lings, but he needs more. Yeah, there's only 4 goons here. That's not enough to do anything. Oh, it's to storm his own Templars.
Oh, no.
The tragedy. Few units getting over to this third, though. See what they can get done, but the Mutila's here to clean them up. And Lings continuing to engage Dragoons, exactly what Zerg wants.
The fighting force for Jedi 1, though, keeps getting eliminated throughout this fight. George even rallying everything to the middle. You see some drones get in the mix as well, but still has plenty of mutas, has all these tech options. Researching Plague now as well, in a giant bank. He can build whatever he wants, wherever he sees his opponent building. Start building things to be really good against it. I'm still surprised we haven't seen any Defilers really here yet. A couple in production just now, but all these bases, really the only thing keeping these bottom bases alive is these cannons. All the pressure is being put towards this, what is it, the 2 o'clock base for the Zerg, but that's putting Jedi 1's army really far out of position. You can see the mutas starting to move around and trying to find some kind of opening and get more damage done.
Well, he does manage to take out that base, and that puts Zerg back to 4 bases. So that's a pretty strong move, actually. Of course, Zerg's expanded this natural over here, but for now, Zerg's economy is a bit battered, even if his army is still superior. I mean, I feel like if from here Jedi 1 can get a strong maxed out army and take a fight, he might actually be able to do this. But this force over here at the 2 o'clock is isolated and probably soon to die. This is why you need recall, obviously, in PvZ, just to get out of there.
Yeah, just to get out.
Sure. that could definitely be interesting. Defilers are here, consuming to get some energy up so they can start casting spells. This force that took out that 2 o'clock being very bold moving out here. There's nowhere to retreat though. They're gonna get spotted. They're gonna be able to get here. It's not
So
like
many Lings just popped
Oh
in.
my god,
yeah.
the Lings surround. Oh, and the Plague.
Plague.
Oh, brutal. And by the way, a force attacked in the bottom left here into that lurker field and just got annihilated as well. So Jedi 1 can't have that much army right now. I think Zerg knows it. He's sending some Lings across. Defiler is present. Oh no. Nothing to help these cannons against Dark Swarm. Oh, these Krakens will make short work of that. Needs another
Wait.
one though. There we go.
Is this replay bug too? Or like,
Oh.
honestly, with the amount of money that George has, like it is.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Well,
I mean, things
like
are
he's still
happening.
producing, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why that army went all the way in there, even though it was a good heckin' game, says Jedi One. Look, I think we still got the general picture of things. Luckily.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. Replays are not being nice to us tonight. Either that or these players are just building these ridiculous advantages.
Their macro's really slipping. Wow. Well, at least we haven't got a one where there's just like an idle maxed army chilling, you know.
Yeah.
God, that game was brutal though, with like the lurkers just burrowing and destroying those zealots.
Yeah, that does not make me excited for that map. In that matchup.
Well, I don't blame the map at all. I don't think, because it mostly happened when he was already on the high ground.
Yeah.
Here's your BSL version of Eclipse again. I know you're so happy to see
Oh my
that.
god, guys.
What we need to do is make a CPL version.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, in the top right, in the yellow, we have Jedi 1, and the bottom left, in the green, we have George, currently up 1 game. So
Yeah, I was rooting for George the whole time. I was supporting my teammate. I knew he could do it.
Well, George was definitely the villain last game, melting all those zealots. Like 100%.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can try and be more heroic this game.
So what can Zerg do to be considered the hero? Like,
Well,
what's,
I remember one game,
the
pro
normal
game.
Zerg play?
the pro game on Gladiator where I don't know, the Zerg won like a big fight in the middle of the map or something, but then the Protoss storm dropped like 3 places at once and killed like 60 drones or something,
Wow.
and they ended up winning after that. And I felt like the Zerg was the hero in that story, you know? Where it's like they almost did it, but the Protoss just smacked them down, you know?
Underdog. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was. Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say possibly. I don't know. But if it's just like Storms winning the game, that's how they process the underdog still. Like,
I mean, yeah.
against all odds.
I know. When there's DTs in the Zerg base, the Protoss is definitely the villain. Let's be real. It's like, okay, well, you're trying to sneak in, assassinate all those drones. If the Zerg notices it right away, it's like, oh, what a hero, you know. He saved his drones.
I think the only way you're gonna talk me into Protoss being a villain is two gate.
Hey, he's doing the best build in the game.
Is he?
Yes, he is. Look, it's Nightpool. The best build in the game.
Pool on 9, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Pool on 9 as endorsed by Neblime.
Yeah, there you go.
That doesn't rhyme.
Sure it does.
Pool
No,
on
it
9.
doesn't. But it's no gas. It's no 9-pool speed.
Oh,
Or
if you're getting the pool first, no gas is the worst.
Did we see a probe die, or did
He killed it, yeah, he killed it in the natural.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
Protoss doesn't know. Then again, he didn't confirm anything, so he's going to get a cannon here. He was smartly
He
playing
is.
safe.
Smartly sending a second probe out.
Well, he's going to see no
Yeah.
hatchery, right? And he's going to be like, okay, it's 9-pool,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's nothing else that you expect here.
Yeah.
There you go, he sees it go down. Like, that's a telltale sign, I would say. So, I assume Protoss makes a second cannon here, as pulls a bunch of probes. Is that the idea?
Yep.
Yeah, probe immediately turn around, try to make a second cannon. The Russians going to be enough time to help things out here, but I'm not 100% sure that cannon gets up in time for the Lings to get there.
I think it will. They have a ways to go. Cannons aren't that slow. I mean, the second cannon, no, but the first cannon, yes. Right? And with these probes, I think as long as Jedi 1 micros is okay, he'll be alright.
He might need more than 3 probes.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think,
bit sneaky,
right?
isn't
Like,
it? Well, it depends how many Lings you're okay with getting in your
Here we
base. Nice micro so far. Oh, but let's
Oh.
get on top of the cannon, but Zoe not going for the cannon. Zoe's supposed to
they
run
were
by.
already getting
Oh, nice.
nice block.
Beautiful block. Oh, he lets one in.
Oh,
I mean, no big deal.
Yeah.
One
But
Ling
that-
without
but
speed,
that
it's
could
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, look. Pop. There
Zap.
it goes.
All right.
Yeah.
So really well held there from Jedi 1.
And he's delaying the third hatchery
and the
for
Overlord.
the Zerg, too.
Oh, is that Overlord going to die? Oh, no,
No.
It's not. Don't be silly. It was never going to die. No one ever thought that. Why would I say that?
Yeah. Ridiculous, I would say.
Yeah. I swear they never quite die to cannons. It's always like, it'll never escape, but then it does.
Yeah, trust me. I know that pain all too well.
Do you ever
But
build?
that's-
Do you ever build a cannon under an Overlord in your main? Like, hey, they won't notice.
I've definitely tried that before.
Dude, I build turrets under Overlords all the time.
Yeah, I usually just build a Dragoon if I'm gonna do shenanigans like that.
Fair
The
enough.
Dragoon will be fightable later. Now, the drones finally gonna take that third hatchery over at the 9 o'clock base. It got delayed very significantly by Jedi 1's probe. It's still on the map, just being very annoying here. So, manages to slow everything down, get back in the base. It sees that they're layering away, not a Hydra Den. Notice he survived the early shenanigans, should be in a good spot to move forward. And we get curious what we're gonna see for the tech here, because if you go against this and your opponent's slow and everything, I feel like you definitely want to go to Stargate, just because you'll be ready for mutas, but you can really start putting pressure on the Overlords.
Yeah, George was so close to glory, but he didn't get the gas, right? He could have done the best build in the game, but just didn't quite get that gas.
Oh god. He attacked before speed would have been done. Don't even
Yeah,
but
but what you're supposed to do is you run into the Protoss main, and then speed finishes once you're in there. And Protoss is just like, oh god, how do I deal with this? Do you think he'll go for a Hydra Bust again, by the way? Because I noticed that he has 2 Overlords very close to Protoss Natural, like as if they're
Well, he has a
DTs.
lair already, and we're seeing a
true.
Spire. So now that I waited 5 seconds, I can confidently say.
Well, if I
not be
actually
a
looked
Hydra
around, I would have noticed. I didn't realize he started his lair so fast. That's actually pretty good, given he opened with 9 pull, no gas. Okay, there's flying Hydralisks then? They're way better than flying Hydralisks.
Yeah, definitely. They cleave, man. Like they're
Flying Hydralisks
Hydralisks
would actually be
wish
pretty
they
bad,
could
to be honest.